Oh yeah, I remember. I think it was Art who told me I could move my camera properly. Alright.
Ready for battle. Ready for battle. Attackers incoming.
You guys actually did pretty okay on this map. You did win, so.
Yeah.
I do
What
feel
did I
like
just do to my
sniper first
camera?
fine.
Do you want to go over your notes before we start?
Yeah, I keep getting burned
Okay.
on that damn corner.
I can talk about it now. Okay, so we're gonna go in here without actually charge on Zarya. We didn't actually build up properly, like to charge bubbles and attack. So we're actually engaging here with zero charge right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then also like right now, look at their team comp, Zarya. They have no high gun contest. So Hanzo has free range pretty much. You can play the fight. I'll talk meanwhile as well, Alexis. This one block here to charge, but it's already too late. We're already like kind of engaging. Just gotta make sure we build up before we go in. Because now you only have build up for someone else, not for yourself. I think it's fine for Hanzo to like look for a different angle, try and get squishes.
Lucio should drop because he's already
That
gotten
should,
up here and
yep,
taken it. So he needs to
yep,
be honest.
definitely.
You guys want to hug the left hand wall. You don't want to swing it too wide because if you guys end up like having your Rhine shield broken, you will die if you're hovering too far towards the black car. So hug the wall after. Yeah. Yeah, you can see effectively Lucio's getting no value. He's just walking back and forth right now, right?
Mhm.
So you want a little wall snug to the left-hand wall, not the right, right?
Yeah.
Remember when I talked to you about where you split? You put it where Lucio is to where the Zarya is. You cut like that, right?
Yep.
Or you cut sideways, but like closer to the Reinhardt.
Mm-hmm.
So when he's out of position, he's actually easily wallable too. So his shield is broken. You want to move up and keep this corner. You don't want to give that up to him. You just hold there.
Yeah, I was just getting really low there.
When you're low, you keep swinging wide right, but you need to swing left, right? Because you can't use the car as cover. You're too tall, right?
Yeah, I was worried about getting walled off, not being able to get out, because
Yeah,
I
if you
I
stand
was
where
low
Doge is, you
for
can't
most
get
of the
walled.
fight.
Because you're on a wall, no matter how this wall comes up, or if you're where Doge is, we'll be able to heal you. She can swing wider. But you definitely need this speed so you can like push the fight. So this is a little bit on Adam for his positioning.
Yeah, I just noticed that Adam wasn't in the fight for so long.
Yeah,
I didn't notice
he can
this.
control the pace of the fight with his speed and heals. Like he should be on the ground with the team.
Mm-hmm.
Hanzo doesn't need help.
Yeah.
What I also want to say about Hanzo this fight is that unlike Envy, you've been like hitting a lot of shots who are like they were kind of missing a lot. So let's say if you're missing like an X amount of shots, just try and focus the tanks for a bit, just to get some value, because you're not getting pushed high ground anyway. You have whole high grounds to play with. So let's say if you keep missing the squishies, just go in the back of Reinhardt like above high grounds and shoot him. So like Reinhardt has to push back, so you give your team much more space to that way. And like here, for example, is anti, like you could have punished him as well.
So here, their Ryan is backed into a corner and he shatters. Tap, you don't block it because you have 372 shield, right? So when you're low on shield, you back out, so you position your team around the corner so the Reinhardt cannot get an easy shatter, right? So you gotta like talk about when your shield is low so that you can give space, right? And you want to go back in after you charge your shield. Like there's no harm, right? Like they're not gonna push your Hanzo off the high ground. Like everything's fine. So it's okay to slow play a little bit, right? Especially like when he's beating you so badly on shatter. Like he's already got it and you're 63. So like play to conserve your shield more because you do like a lot of time where you're standing like in the free space and just holding shield, like going really wide. Because you're using your shield to make up for your poor positioning, right? Because you have no cover. So you're like, I have to shield, otherwise I will die, right? But if you're on the wall, you should never like really drop your shield below like 800 or something. Makes it a lot easier. So better like micro positioning for you, because then it'll automatically reposition your team. If you play really wide, they're gonna try and play really wide too, right?
Yeah, I thought you wanted your DPS to kind of encircle wide, so that's kind of why I took those kind of angles.
Well, if you're here, the Rhine should always face you, right?
Sure,
Mhm.
I got
So
you. It covers the whole space anyways.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the team we played against, I remember this team exactly. The guy who was representing them messaged me later on after the game. He told me that apparently he's sorry that he kept bitching at us the whole time for the whole spectators and everything. They said because it wasn't fair. The fact that like you guys were the coaches and could see everything, and he was a player and couldn't see everything. And like they were saying like because it wasn't fair because the coaches probably told you like the flanks we were taking. I'm like, kind of.
No,
It's their
we
job.
can't. We
It's
we're muted. Like we have to be
yeah,
muted.
you can't. Yeah. But it's like you're saying between rounds because like you're saying they didn't have a coach themselves. So like that's how's that our fault?
I mean, they can see themselves in game when they're getting flanked a lot.
Yeah.
So like I don't know.
I don't
you
know.
guys never play the same map anyway. After it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't understand
Yeah.
either.
Right. So obviously playing closer to the wall, their Lucio's massively out of position. Their Rhine was one. Right. I think that the problem was Adam. You were on heal. Right. When the Rhine is antied, you have to control aggression. Right.
Mhm.
By amping speed or being on speed and tap, you have to like push after that Rhine. Like you definitely between the three of you could have gotten him low. And if there was a call out that Rhine was one, maybe Envy could have hit a shot on him too. But regardless, like that Rhine got out by like the skin of his teeth.
Yeah.
I think every time we wall someone good, we just speed onto them so that our rank can swing, and like everyone can like help out the wall person.
So pretty much the way it should look is you turn this corner with speed, right? And you take this wall, right? And you keep looking for a Mei wall because in a dry fight, Mei wall is what wins you it, right? That's why Mei is the most like powerful hero for like I don't know a whole meta, two metas, right? And then as soon as you wall someone, you amp your whole team onto them, right? Like anyone who's actually supposed to amp onto them, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Yana doesn't have to or anything. It's fine. It's like this is a big anti by fake, right? And watch how low the enemy Ryan's health dropped.
Oh wow.
Right. So when your team is shattered, Tab, what do you have to do?
Shield
Right.
or well, I was trying to kill that Ryan though, so he couldn't W on him.
But you
You
have
got
to
him.
shield. Because if you don't shield, then everyone on the other end takes more damage, right? Like, is
Right.
it more valuable to get the Ryan kill, or is it more valuable for you to protect potentially 2 or 3 teammates shrouded on the ground behind you, right? Because you're only getting one versus potentially losing 2 or 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think the shadow was unnecessary too. Honestly, they're gonna die at 64. It's 60. It's 5v4. They don't have a range shield. You have Nano as like pressure too. You can just walk up to them, just W, get the space. And Adam can be on speed, so I can follow you. And you can keep the shatter on next fight. Because you know their Reinhardt has no shatter, you have shatter. That's an advantage you have that you can bring to the next fight. Can you watch Hanzo perspective of this fight for a second? Like of this first fight, so like rewind a bit. Okay, more yep. I think here is like fine, yeah. I, I can stop here for a second. As a Hanzo, when there's nobody contesting high ground, and you're not really getting any value for your team for like a little while. Like honestly, at some point you have to think, okay, I'm not hitting the squishies. Maybe I can punish a tank. Maybe I can just farm a tank for like a charge and punish the enemy tank. So what you can do is if their Reinhardt's aggressive, go to the window like that's right top of your screen to shoot the Reinhardt in his back, like his turn shield. Either he like runs back in the corner and your team has points, so they have to go back to point, but then you have two different angles. And there's nobody to contest you. It's like if you're really striking with killing the squishies, just pressure tanks that have to go back and your team has more space. But if you're hitting the squishies like you're feeling it, like you can play here, grab for 6, 7 shots or like 5 or something. You have to get value. So just try and hit something, and tanks are easier to hit. And in this case, they can't contest you. So just like get a really good angle and just mess up their round hard. Just shoot them in the back.
done?
Yep.
I hate when it does that.
Objective lost. Stop.
So you want to take the space to the corner where Doge is, and you stop there. So you stop there because then you can control space for your Hanzo on the high ground, right? Because like this angle, the enemy Ryan will never be able to fight without like his backline dying to shit, right? Because his shield will always be faced towards you, but you're always looking over the shield, and it's very hard for like a Kree to contest this position so long as Rana is able to get healing in. So you just want to hold that for as long as possible. You can go up and down and just get healed, right? Accordingly. Did we bubble earlier? Why does it do this to me?
It's the,
It's
I don't
quite
know.
annoying.
It's a new update it keeps doing recently. Everyone's been getting that too.
Objective lost.
Every time they do replay viewers,
Stop the
for some reason,
payload.
it does that now. I don't know why.
What's your
Let's
charge
see.
type, Doge?
Apparently it doesn't do it if you want to replay. Go back, just pick a character first, and then it doesn't do it anymore.
So this is a good bubble. You had a good wall. This tree is punishable.
Yeah, we
He
called
gets
it.
stunned.
Yeah.
It's fine if he lives. You just want to make sure you maintain control of this corner.
Yeah.
Seems okay.
I don't know what we're doing here.
Don't
Don't know why
back
you have to
anymore.
go back. Yeah.
Because you can always rest your shield inside the bookshop doorway, right? You want to make sure they fight for that space, because look at how threatening he is, right? Like, they're constantly backing because he's worried that his backline will die, right? So you want to maintain that pressure, so you can't give up space. You give up space, Envy's the one who takes the aggro, right? You want to keep aggro off of him. So here. They should be able to block. Tab. Turn around and charge the other way. Right? Definitely a preventable death. Alright, so your aggression was pretty good. He has pushed up to take space. So my problem with this is... you guys had this the first time. Let's watch what happened.
I think Tab got one, and I wouldn't beat aggressively.
Beat it too late for Tab, actually. If I recall correctly.
Yep.
And then beated the grab that he died in? Was that the same scrim? Or was that a different
I
one?
think it was.
Different
I think it
scrim.
was the match here. I think I'm not sure actually.
He just didn't beat the aggro. Alright, so here. You guys got a good wall and a Bondulus. Right? Adam, you're too passive. You have to be with your tanks. Pichu, you need to be on your tanks too. You're trying to take space, not give space. You're trying to punish a wall, but how can you punish your main wall if you're all the way back here, right? The only one that should be back there is your Ana on the cart and your Hanzo on high ground. Even your Hanzo could probably go out to like about here, right? Because then he'd be on like a nice longer ranged angle as well. So positioning, aggression, not so good either. Tab gets walled right here. Adam, if you were close to him, you know what you could have done? Beat dropped him. If you guys had gone up to the corner early, right here, like just amped all the way around the corner and then engaged on them with literally your one ultimate, which is beat drop, okay, you would have won the fight. And on top of that, Pichu is 98% to male, right? Like, there's no way you don't cap second point. But unfortunately, your aggression was actually too passive. So, like, you had the good instinct of pushing up, but you didn't push up enough. And, yeah, okay, it was a scrim. Adam, like, once your main tank's dead, you brought your loss. Like, you can't just beat drop a solo grab. You would have been better off bringing it into next fight.
I think it's a semi-common problem we have is that once you get a good wall, the people that have to be aggressive aren't really aggressive. Like we have to speed in and punish the good wall within. So that means they'll show me starting red hard. Like Q4 have to like work as a group pretty much. Like me, Sarya, ran hard, and Lucia. Like if you get a good wall, you have to speed in together.
This is actually a good wall. The Peachy scrim balls are great. They're much better than like
Match was.
Smash
Oh
balls,
yeah.
better than the scrim balls, yeah.
Ready for battle.
Okay, so before you go in, you want charge bubbles. You don't want to just hard engage, right? There's no like real reason to hard engage. Because then you're not charged. You want like 60-ish charge before you go in. Right? You don't want to be getting charged like partway through. You're the attacking side, so take a little bit of time to get your charge up. Helps you charge grab faster too. Sorry, I'm retarded with my camera.
Yeah, I think we saw like a really good wall here, so we tried to just commit on it.
Right there. You could have bubbled yourself and you probably would have gotten charged. So here, this is a good wall. Your team, though, they're being aggressive enough about it. Adam, you're not Zenyatta, bro.
Adam.
Move up. And we get onto a high ground. You guys need to group to 6 before you go in, because like your positioning's all over the place right now. Don't shatter that.
I used Blizzard there because I saw they used bubbles already, and he wasn't gonna get out that wall.
Yeah, it was a good
I think
wall.
it was a good blizzard and good wall. Yeah.
I wasn't sure because like
It's
you said, count
like
bubbles there. It was like both of them were stuck there, so I was like, I don't know. I didn't really check the bubbles there. I was
if
just
you
like, I'm
get a
just
good
moving it
wall
there.
and good blizzard, it's not a anymore. It's like on a team to follow up with it. And
Yeah.
if the team is not in a good position because their own mistake, then it's not on you. Like it
Okay.
was a really good wall and a really good blizzard, so it's
The
not on you.
mistake was you guys weren't stacked, right?
Yeah.
And your Zarya wasn't charged enough to punish anything because you started without charge, right? Like, the Zarya damage is the difference between securing kills and not, right?
Yeah.
And also, Envy is not anywhere close to punish, right? Like, he needs to be able to see them. Because obviously when he's frozen, like the enemy Ryan and Zarya, like, it's free. And Fake probably could have secured an anti if he had been around the corner, because it was pre-fight, so he would have been able to anti off the wall. I mean, like, that's one of the nicest things about Ana and Mei, right?
Yep.
Like, walls drop, like, right behind them. Perfect splash, right? Okay, so there's absolutely no way that this Ryan should not have died sleeping on the ground. Can you just leave him there, count to 3, and then burst him down as a team? Right? Like, you're not ladder players, right? You can coordinate something like that. Good luck by Tab. But,
Doge.
Doge and Adam. Did Adam get shattered too or no?
No,
Just
Adam's
I
fine.
think Doge.
I think he hugged the wall. Oh, he still died though.
Alright, so Adam, wall ride, because we talked about this before. I should never, like, see that happen again. You guys got anti, unlucky, whatever, right? So right now you're down your Lucio, and your Rhine shield is already breaking. Why don't you just chill? Go into there and sit for a bit. What are they gonna do, right? But right now you're not, like, poking or pushing or anything.
I believe I actually called that.
So I think someone actually goes off on the left-hand flank. Adam spots him out up there at 3.
Yeah.
He's not showing through the wall.
Yeah, I started screaming the Kree on the left
I remember that. Yeah.
or right. Yeah.
This is a really good wall.
He jumped on the cart. and
Kree's
got
on the
out.
cart. Yeah.
Envy needs to be on high ground because now we've taken space. Adam needs to be not on heels.
On speed. Yep.
Yep. Pichu needs to be a little bit closer to Tab. And Doge definitely needs to be closer to Tab.
Yeah. Yep.
Tab better get bubbled right
Looks
there.
like he has.
When your Ryan gets antied Adam, you have to amp him backwards, right?
Yeah.
So, Envy's still out of position.
When I have cryo, sometimes I delete these in front of tab just to like save him sometimes, or just something. And he's like Doge. I don't know. I was confused there.
So you guys need to pick a side of the cart and then stick to it. You are making Fake's life very unpleasant, right? You guys are not, like, in a very good position as a team right now, right? Like, you don't want the fight to look like this. If Envy's on the high ground, how much does this fight change? A lot, right? Because suddenly they have to give space, right? They have no diva. They really have to give space.
They have
Right.
nothing to contest high ground right now.
And if
Like, they haven't
Adam,
had
you're
it since
anti
start.
people, right? Then you're actually pushing your tanks onto their tanks instead of letting your tanks take all the damage and antis as they walk up, right?
Mm.
And Pichu, you need to be looking for this wall and playing on your tanks trying to freeze their Ryan too, right?
Yeah.
Because he's swinging for free. So swinging into the grab, good. You guys burst the bubbles. Shatter, you don't need to do. This is the second one, right? Remember, Shatter on its own can be a team wiping all if you do it right, so you can't just waste it like that.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Good, keeping your charge up. Okay, so you want to hold here, right? You don't want to push past this corner, because what happens?
Hold.
Your Ana is still on cart, right? So you can't push past this corner.
Yep.
Tab, push past this. You need to go left, hopefully. You guys tell him to go left. Maybe he
Yeah.
lives.
Yeah, we told him that immediately.
That beat drop was a bailout, right? Should never be used like that. You should like run over the enemy Ryan and then like use the beat drop to win. But luck he lives because you guys were not like actually swinging on him at the time, so he was able to get out. But he's not even like really being sped around by his Lucio, who's actually on heels like way back. Like you can tell their team is just as like mispositioned as ours. But like if he positioned better, this would not look like that, right? This May. Where did she come from?
Oh, she go from inside.
That's what I want to know. Like,
Yeah. Yep. She flanks from inside. She went in the room left, like on your screen on the right. She walked into one doorway, like this one. Yep, that one.
yeah, that's what I thought, right? But like, because we didn't see her initially, but someone should have spotted her out because it's the DPS's job to control flanks. So Envy can't do that, right? And both tanks, if you guys were playing on the corner, would you guys have been flanked like this? 100% not, right? But because you're all out of position, you opened up the flank to their May, who kind of fucks you, right? We can rewatch that little portion. So if she came through that doorway and you guys both ended up dying on the wide left without cover, I would say that you guys mispositioned really, really badly, right? And so you lose that fight. And it doesn't really. It's not really a place you want to be fighting, right? Like you always want to take a corner within sight line of the cart, because remember on payload maps, you're honest, it's on the cart. So like you have to mind where the cart is and you push accordingly, right? So like there is essentially like as Laura has said before, a belt around your waist, and you have to be attached to your healer who is attached to the cart, right? And the moment you step off
This
like that, you
this
are dead.
fight, this fight was pretty much a chain reaction. Like Tab, you got out of position, so everyone went wide to try and help you, which then left open the May outs. So it's like we pretty much got punished because one player was out of position, so we all went out of position to help him, and that had the May out happen. So
And we use ultimates to try and help him beat drop, right? Which is like not so good because you don't want to waste resources like that when you could use them to win. Why is that the default camera spot? So good. You guys took the high ground position. Play slow. You're up one, right? Wait for your Hanzo to get on high ground first, right? Say like I'm in position. So like as soon as he's up here, look where their Ryan's mispositioning to. What's wrong with where he's standing?
Snow cover, like besides cart.
Mm-hmm. And does he even have cover behind Kara if your Hanzo's up here?
Not
No
really.
one has cover, right? So like if you
it's
give him a
heaven for
second,
Hanzo.
right? Like that is where you want him to be. So Pichu, this wall to cut, right?
Yeah.
It's not really a great wall because there's no way for you guys to run over the enemy Ryan, right? because even if he doesn't have Ana healing for a little bit, like unless for some reason you could secure the kill on the Ana by like double dinking her right here by herself, like this wall effectively doesn't do anything, right?
Adam as well play close to Reinhardt. Like
On the
I
wall
would say you're a
beside
bit
him,
too far.
just
Like
like
you
above
help dictate the fight, like you help dictate the pace because you can speed out and speed in. And if you're on heels right now, it's like you're really far away. You're like the furthest away of the whole team. That shouldn't happen actually.
Not just that, but your Ryan hasn't started swinging yet on the other Ryan, so once they've engaged, you can be on heels. But like right now, you're still trying to position him, so you are kind of fucking over your Ryan a little bit. Pichu, you're kind of overextended too, but
Yeah.
okay, you're really overextended. So if you had Maywall right here instead, what do you think would have happened?
I could have walled the damage.
All of it, right?
Yep.
So this was a good counter shatter. I actually really agree with this shatter. Punish the Ryan. A lot of the time when Ryan's swing into grab, you always have to have bubble for your Ryan to swing into grab, right? So I don't know if you counted bubbles or got lucky or anything like that, but like as you go higher, when Ryans are swinging into grab, they have bubbles, so you can't shatter them. So I don't know, but it was a good like counter shatter. I think he's also sleeping, and the blizzard was good instinct for defensive. So everyone tried to peel for the team, and like that's really good, right? So here you're looking to wall right side. You have Sonic on it, so you wall the Ana, right?
The payload is near its destination.
I can't tell if I
So
actually walled off the honor or not from my position.
doesn't matter as long as she takes longer to get out to provide heals,
Okay.
right?
I think
Okay.
this probably a miss nano like accident.
On Doge, he asked for
I
Nano
think
so that he
uh,
could get grab
I
off
didn't
the
get his
grab
grab.
dragon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
see.
get grab
Yeah.
online just
Remember
because Scream
this.
Dragon
Makes
here.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so the problem is that Doge gave all that space, right? If he wants to play with his Nano, he needs to be in their face, right? So he has to be over here, body blocking the freaking doorway with the Ryan, right? Like if your plan is to wall one side, right, and play the other side, and you Sonic the right door, and all you see is Ana, then you know all that is coming out the right door is Ana. So tanks, push up to the freaking door, Nano your Zarya or your Reinhardt, probably your Ryan actually in this situation, right? And then just swing in the doorway. Like they're not moving a Nano Reinhardt out of their way, right? Guaranteed cap. And the Zarya right there too will charge for grab because they can't shield walking out of the door, right? And then you just grab Dragon from there. But you gave so much space, which gives them room to use their ultimates, right? Like Shatter, for example. Envy and this McCree trade, if I recall correctly.
I think he snipes him before the Tinians right there. Correctly.
Yeah. I don't know. I remember one scrim where he dies to Okay, so right here, they got out and they've encircled the cart, which should have never happened in theory, right? What could you have done even if you didn't have grab? You could have dragged the left door.
Yeah.
And then played close with Nano, right? Does it matter if you have grab at that point? No, right?
No.
So like this is what I mean by like flexibility in terms of shot calling. This is for Doge mostly when he watches the video. Even if you don't have like traditional or classic alt combinations, right? Like you gotta look at what you have. You have Nano and you have Dragon. What the fuck can you do with that? Right? Your automatic reaction is I need grab, right? So Nano me, right? But then you just gotta look at the map and be like, okay, we've walled right side, so left side, why don't we just Dragon it? Right? And then Nano close to the door. Because the grab in overtime wipes regardless, so it doesn't matter if you charge it like right away. Right? Overtime being just like when everyone's trying to contest the cart, not necessarily like the timer itself. You know? So when everyone's rushing to contest the cart, it's pretty easy to get a grab off regardless. You don't need a dragon to wipe it because everyone's here, and you're never going to end up in a 6v6. Because even when they came out to recontest, they're on a win out the other door, right? Like it happens. Most teams actually split 3-3. But like they went 5 one way and 1 the other way, which is fine as well. I think they wanted a flank anti or something. I don't know. Right? But he definitely could have held like them in their spawn doors. And like, although you guys were playing aggressive, you gave up the space you took right away because Zarya went all the way up to the doors, was like, oh shit, where's my Ryan? Ran back to the cart, came out here, and then got nano. Like, that is subpar in terms of like both fight planning and like aggression from the team, right? Oh, it's lagging really hard. What the fuck?
I guess fixed.
Alright, Anna.
I think, wait, can we go 5 seconds back? So I think what happened is that they walled Sophie tried to wide peak to heal the team, and then they dropped the wall and got high noon, I think.
Yeah.
Let's
You
see.
can't use their wall.
As
During
coverage,
high noon.
yeah, unreliable.
Fake should have never been that wide in
I
the
see.
first place.
Yeah.
He should have been against the left wall.
Yep, yeah, I agree.
Because DPS don't come out that door. DPS come out that door, right?
Yep.
It's like at
I
worst,
wasn't
he's
sure what
building getting
happened.
Yana. But yeah, he was out of position. So yeah, like you guys lose this, but you had every tool you needed to make it a win, right? Every time I press.
I know.
So big grab dragon, everything's fine. This Hanzo on top is a little bit threatening. Lucio go up and contest him. You can beat him. Not like beat drop, but literally like go up and like kill
Well,
him.
I think that was on me because I did tell him to just like ignore him because he can't really do anything to us. We have a Shrine here in front of us, right there.
Yeah, because the ride's not going to be faced. But yeah, like whoever can contest high ground, it's both Hanzo and Lucio should go up and fight him.
Yeah.
Should win every time.
Initiating match. Ready for
This is the one time where I feel like it's okay my camera's here. Okay.
So I would say Pichu
I
for
fucked up
next
really
game,
bad here on defense.
practice, Pichu.
Yeah.
Just ask Envy, like, Envy, are you ready? If Envy's ready in position, go for a wall.
Gotcha.
Or like, if you actually see like a really good wall,
Mhm.
then sure, like, just ask if Envy's ready, I guess.
Did you have notes
Gotcha.
for this defending fight, Laura, or do you want me to just talk through it?
I'm just watching your perspective too right now.
Yeah, I know.
This
I
is a
take
missed
the
bubble.
hotel.
Yeah, Bubba way too early, yeah.
I take the hotel like one step too far and get walled.
Pichu,
And it's
why did
something
you
we've
get
talked
bubbled?
about.
What?
I don't know. You got bubbled right there because you were half HP by Doge. I don't know if it was a missed bubble or what happened, so I want to watch it back. Over peaking, maybe. Okay, so let's talk about your Rhine shield. On the defending side, you don't need to hold your shield at all because your Hanzo is on high ground, so you're not holding shield for him to poke, right? And your Zarya doesn't need you to hold shield for her because she's not one-shottable by anything, right? And she's got her own bubble. So you peek, you fire strike, you back, right? But you don't need to stand here and like cover with your shield and stuff. Just let it gen, right? And Pichu's not really like able to do like that much poke damage on the way in anyway because most runs like they shield jump coming in, right? Or they do like a fast rotate.
If they're coming closer than they are now, would it still help to like shield so he can look for a wall?
Yeah, but like right now, there's no
But
need,
right now, like
later.
this far away, okay.
Because like Pichu doesn't need that poke damage, right? Like he'll get it later. But like peeking right now is like asking for something to happen to him, right? In the sense that let's say you don't communicate that you're dropping shield or hugging hotel again. So the shield drops and there's like a 2-second window where Pichu's repositioning from right here to against hotel, right? Then he gets picked by Widowmaker. That just opens the fight right away for the enemy team, right? But like your Hanzo obviously does not need this because he's all the way up here. So like just I think a little bit of the unnecessary risk just for shield play and stuff. And you lose a lot of your shield going in. So like you've lost more than half your barrier before the fight even started, right? Like that's a huge disadvantage because he can charge his at any time, but you can't charge yours.
I think the bubble was used because they fire strikes, which I don't agree with. It's getting healed up. Don't use your bubble for that.
So you can only use your personal bubble for charge. You can't use your projected. So that was a misplay by Doge. Envy needs an orb on him again. And when he's low, you should not be that overpeaked. I don't think he should overpeak like that in general. Like he should hug the
Yeah,
doorway so we
stay
can go back in.
doorway. Yep.
He's asking to get picked off by like a diva or something.
Adam was trying to orb him there as well. I could tell.
Okay, so that's a really good anti. Like, are we gonna? Where's Lucia? Oh, we don't have Lucia. We have Sen. That's true.
Yeah. So he's not discording the enemy Ryan enough. I need to see discord
Yeah.
on him as well, right? Because that Ryan needs to be discorded all the time. Otherwise, there's no point in playing Zen, right? Look at how badly their Ryan is mispositioned. Why is their whole team super mispositioned right now?
Because of our wall.
Yeah, also because they have no cover,
Because he's
right?
swinging wide.
Swinging wide, yeah.
What we said is swinging wide is very bad. So from Envy's angle, I think that he can kill the Ryan if he like really tries, right?
Yep.
And like that's fine, right? I also think that because he's here, he forces their Ana to reposition somewhere else because like it's threatening to play back where their Hanzo is, right? So I think Tab's about to get slapped or something.
Yeah.
Tab's
I think
up
so.
here.
So how much health does their Ryan live by?
A quarter, I
Like
think.
nothing. I think. Unless
So
he was
Tab,
even lower.
yeah, like he was like 100 HP or less. So Tab, you put yourself really out of position, and so did Doge to try and chase this kill, right? But remember, you have no Lucius. You cannot like reposition like that. Just hug the hotel, go for the fire strike. Honestly, if that run had been discorded, he would have died like 4 times, right?
Yep.
So Adam, discord stuff, bro. Specifically their Ryan. You have to reapply it every time the bubble comes up, but because they have no bubble, it should always be on him, and it was never on him, and it's still not on him. So that is on your side there.
Yeah, just keep line of sight. Just keep line of sight on him. That's just it. You put on the Lucio. Okay.
Can do that. And then Envy, make sure you always come back for orb. So if you don't have orb on you, you always have to go back and repeat for orb. And Adam will try and swing wide to help you as well. I think that orb management is tough for Adam right now because he doesn't play zone.
Yeah.
But yeah, tanks are really out of position, so they need to reposition right away. Okay, this is good. Envy needs to go back to high ground. Good. Tab.
What are we
Don't push
doing
like
here?
that. Doge.
Yeah, I think we're
pushing
trying to get the Ana on the
Ana.
left side is what we're calling.
Let your Zarya and Hanzo do it, but don't misposition yourself. Okay, so May, don't go shooting a Ryan shield. That Hanzo has a Ryan shield. You do not, right?
Yeah.
So you don't go duel him because he will one-shot you and you will die.
Alright.
That is that, right? Like this kind of early poking is fine by the Hanzo. Alright. So right now you have no ultimates or coming up to Nano or whatever, so that's fine. So they're making this rotate.
I don't want to. No.
So when they rotate like this,
I tried to cut it off.
it's fine if you try and cut the rotate, right? Like I don't mind.
This is
Right,
really
but-
bad positioning from me in about 2 seconds.
Just to check to make sure I understand right, once they push through a hotel, we're supposed to pull back to, from this perspective, like bottom left side of the point, right?
Like where the car
Just turn
is.
the map pretty much.
Yeah, we
Yes,
turned
as
them out.
well. Right? So like for example, if your Ana, your Zen come out this way, their Hanzo is still here, right? So
Yeah, I think I was headed
obviously-
for the car. That's where I was going.
your Hanzo can stay up here and duel their front line, right? Or you can rotate and look for a different angle, right? But he has to make sure that this Hanzo over here, like he knows that he's there, right? Someone has to, like when you guys do this full rotate though, this Hanzo is effectively free so long as you guys notice him, but he's standing there like in the open, right? So what you have to do is clear him off and then hold this for yourself, right? Or even this, right? You turn them up so that you're like the attackers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're on and your Zen are here, this looks fine, right?
And we only have a hands up behind, like high ground too. Shoot him in the back.
But this is not what happens.
No, this is what happens. Oh
So this
no.
is what I mean by where the wall should be, Pichu. It should look like that.
Oh no, dude.
And
Oh,
because
God.
you
You
guys
can,
are playing too close, you guys die. But you
Yeah, I
lose
had to
tab
run back
first.
to try to help the Ryan.
yeah, look, the whole
Nah,
team went back
that's
and
on
help
me.
Tab.
That's
Like
on me.
everyone like went back to help Tab.
Unfortunate. Happens. Next time you rotate better.
Yeah, I will.
It's okay. It wasn't all of us. We should have told. We should have said.
Like as soon as I
We
did
should
that,
have.
I'm like,
We
oh
should.
no, we've mod
We.
reviewed this already.
We should have all.
I
We
think
should have.
this nano was way too early too. Let me go back a little.
Yeah, it was. I couldn't even. Everything was like 10 feet
Me
in
either.
front of me.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we have nano, we can talk to Lucian like, hey Lucio, let's speed in a nano, and then just speed in nano run hard. But this
You,
nano was way too early. Either we communicate with Lucia, or you could just do it
you don't
yourself
have a
like, hey run, go
design.
close. Oh yeah, true. Yep.
So
Gotta make
pretty
sure
much.
that people are swinging before you nano. This was way too early, and they have Lucia. They speed out.
So if you have a Discord orb, right, on the enemy Ryan and you nanoed yourself, how fast do you delete him? Almost instantly, right? It was like 2 or 3 swings and he's gone, right?
Pretty much.
So you just walk onto him, right? You swing at him aggressively, and when your health starts falling and you're not anti or whatever, you make sure you get the nano on him, and the enemy run has to be discorded, and you instantly win the fight with just one ability and one ult, right? So ideally, you guys want Archway first, so you want to push them back off of this bookstore corner. So Tab, you want to wait for your team to group because, yeah, you have the zone. The bubble was too early on Tab right there. Doge is just trying too hard to get charged on the defending side when he could do it better. Yeah, this nano is too early. You shatter from too far away as well. I feel like you feel pressured to shatter because you're nano to try and make
Yeah.
something of it, but like
Yeah.
make sure you're
Well, I
actually
know I got
in his
walled,
face.
and I didn't want them to like aggress into me. So like, yeah,
If you
I just
get
tried to
walled,
make something happen there.
and you don't
From
want
my
them to aggress in you, you shield, right?
Yeah.
And you shield until their Rhine swings, and then you shatter, right?
I think this was mentioned
Did-
earlier, Scrum. Look at my notes. The nano is pressure. We don't have to use any ults with nano, right? We just put it out to win a Rhine fight.
But it's like
Also, I
right when the
think
Rhines
Tab.
are like shield to shield is when you use it, right?
I thought you guys were engaging, which is why I nanoed you there, but the Rhine was
Right.
backing up.
Nah, yeah, I get it.
I
Wait
think
till
there's
Tab
also a
all
few choose
falls.
targets too. Look at the Ana positioning right now. The enemy Ana. Look where she is.
I'll yell at you for nano. I'll just start yelling nano. Pretty easy.
We're not supposed to do that.
We're not. Well,
I'm supposed to call the nano and tell you when I intend to use it, and then pop it once you start swinging. Because you're supposed to be target calling.
Make sure his health just falls a little bit first. That's good, right? Swinging, health falling because of enemy Rhine hammer. Not because he got storm out in the face or anything, but because of enemy Rhine hammer, right?
Yeah, because there's going to be consistent follow-up damage.
Right. And don't shatter far away from the enemy Rhine because then people can reaction time block, right? So like
Right.
there's 2 ways, like you predict or you react, right?
Mhm.
You want to make sure he can only predict and not react because that is already like 50% of the fight won, right? So that means being in his face because sometimes even if he's in your face and he shields, you will be able to shatter through his shield. You know what I mean? Because you're through him. Like you
Right.
can step through his shield and shatter behind him. So like there's a higher chance of you effectively hitting shatters in general, right? But if you shatter from far away, like if you don't have boomer reaction time, you'll probably be able to block it TBH, right? Like
I think
so
this fight also shows that you didn't really need to shatter because they mispositioned so hard. Look at Ana and Hanzo that you just with your nano just run up to them honestly. Like look where Ana is, look where you are, look where Zarya is. Like Ana's a free pick and Hanzo is too.
yeah, you guys wasted 2 ultimates here, which is not really that good. Good wall there. This Hanzo though, Tab, I don't know if you just never noticed this guy or you don't care about his damage, but you gotta respect the Hanzo Storm Arrow, dude, and like
I
not do
don't
that.
think I saw him in there, to be honest with you,
Because that kind of sucks if
because
you
I
lose
was
your
looking
run.
more at the May Rhine main, and I never saw that.
Yeah,
You can look first person. I don't know.
it doesn't matter enough to me.
Yeah.
So, right here, their spawn is closer, you're down your run, so you have to ult aggressively. You have to grab Dragon really early, Doge gets walked on, we worry he's gonna die, but then he actually grabs and the Dragon works out or whatever. Bad trans by Adam for no reason. Definitely don't want to be transing that, right? I normally don't trans if, like, it's just my Zarya. Because there's no Reinhardt. So she can get antied really easily. I do trans for my Reinhardt though. So right here is good. You guys are attempting to cleave the corner. Cleave the corner a little bit more aggressively, dude. Like, you're so far away that you're not really inserting any kind of pressure. Watch this. Like, you see what I mean? You're hitting the wall, right? Like, I can tell from, like, the upper perspective that, like, it's not really actual pressure. So if you were, like, on the corner right here, right, and you're, like, using your shield to, like, flash and see around the corner, you'll see when they come close, and you step out and swing and come back, step out, swing, come back, right? Because you're trying to, like, actually do cleave damage to pressure their team from coming into the choke. But the way you're doing it right now, they just walk in for free, right? Why do they walk in for free? Sure, Zarya. Is she dead? She's still dead. Right. So your Zarya is still dead. So you definitely want to be a little bit more like aggressive to stop them from like not like aggressive in the sense that you're engaging on a fight, but like aggressive with your cleaving to make sure that they um
And it's
aren't
buying
able to
time for
push.
this area.
Yeah. Right. So your Hanzo's about to get dove. He needs an orb. Adam. Pichu should be looking for a wall. You know, if you play more aggressive on the corner, it also gives Pichu more space to get walls. Something to know. Because you soak aggro and stuff. This male. Is it their ult? On you
Yeah,
guys?
but we use O2. Or
No, that's ours. That was our
I
mail.
think
oh,
ours
that's
got
ours.
canceled.
It's bugged.
No, that's ours. They still have their ulti if you look at the track.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
it's a
Yeah.
different color. It's bugged.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Alright, so Pichu. If your Zarya is dead and your Rhine is dead. Is your Rhine dead? Where's your Rhine?
No, I wasn't dead when he used it.
Anyways, you guys are not in position to capitalize on a male. Like, it was just you two pushed up. Your Hanzo had to
Yeah.
fall off. I think, honestly, Hanzo could have dueled the Diva if he had the orb earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, a solo Diva versus a Hanzo up here, like, I definitely think that unless they're focusing heals on the Diva, that the Hanzo can stay here pretty much indefinitely, right? So, yeah. But you guys could have held that space a little bit better. I don't know if Adam died to the dragon on purpose, but if he did, good job. Not even sarcastically. Like, you don't feed ult, which is good. Dying on cart. If you had your Transcendence there, Adam, you would have held. But you used it earlier on the Zarya, who ended up dying anyway because she was purple and it was a bad Transcendence target. Okay, so going into next fight, you have Shatter, Dragon, Nano. I remember Envy goes up to this wall and Dragon's through the wall, but if he had
Yeah.
Dragon forward for his team to push to the cart, his team would have had more space. So use Dragon as a zoning ult to create space. Right? Because, like, right here, specifically right here. Look at this. Right? If he had been with his team or just dragging the cart on a different angle towards the cart, it would have forced them back to give space for his team to push up, right? But because he dragons through the wall like this, it doesn't really create space, right? Watch how that plays out. So, Tab shattering from too far away again. Luckily, you shatter one thing, but it's Baby Diva, so does it really count? I don't know, right? And it's not even really in like a super realizable spot, right? So you want to pressure before you shatter. And you don't want to get shattered by that. Probably react to that. This is their blizzard this time.
Yep, that's
But
theirs.
they wouldn't have been able to push up with a blizzard if he had dragoned earlier to push space, right? And when you're about to get blizzarded, that would have been a good time to shatter because then you're threatened, right? You're using it as a defensive. Because when blizzard goes out, what does the enemy team automatically do every time? They walk on the
Walk
blizzard,
forward.
right? So like you have to be able to read the game so that you can get better shatters, right? Because right now, like getting off good shatters is your weak point for sure. Like, of course, there's like micro positioning stuff, but like that's something you could improve on like immediately.
The payload has reached the checkpoint. Team kill.
But it's good that you guys try to bail each other out all the time, right? Like when you guys get grabbed, you try to shatter to like bail you out or mailed, stuff like that. Or like when Tag gets walled, you try and help him. It's good. So right here, what you absolutely do not want to do is get picked. And what Fake absolutely wants to do is to probably go out the other door.
Yep. Just be the other side, like the car's already pushed here.
For sure. I hadn't quite seen where the cart was, and I thought we were pushing up. There wasn't a call for holding Golden Zone until after I was out the right side door.
In general, I think it takes you the
Just
same
go
amount of
other-
time to walk left versus right, regardless. So just
Yeah.
always go left, right?
All right. Yep. got
Correct,
it.
not right. Yeah, your Zen's in an okay spot. I don't really disagree with it. As long as he doesn't get picked by anybody, it's fine.
I think he gets dove here.
Bro, maybe.
He can't get dove unless the Lucio
Inside,
does.
inside right. I think the Diva and Lucio go for him.
He should just move. Like, that's on him.
You
That's a
scored his
totally fine
enemy
position.
again.
So Dojo's doing a good job of maintaining high ground. He switches sides. Now you're in a good position, Faith, to heal both those guys on the high ground and the run in here. Adam needed to rotate sooner. Okay. So you have Nano, right? So you want to be looking for a wall behind the Ryan as he comes around the corner, and then you want to Nano tab as he's swinging on him. Pretty much. Like this. Like this. To tab, you backed so much, and you backed away from cover, which is really bad, right? Because if you had been like against cover, you would have been in a better position. Like Faith will be able to heal you no matter what, right? So you want to like play the cover until the cart hits about here, right? And then you just walk out and you capitalize on this wall pretty easy, right? But because you're like in the open space, this is essentially like a bailout nano, right? Because you're gonna eat like a fuck ton of face damage, which is not so good for your health bar, right? And you're not even in a position to capitalize because you can't do anything from that kind of range, right? And Doge is dropping, which is fine because he's over here. I would actually suggest that Doge go over and contest the enemy Hanzo, right? Because immediately if he contests the enemy Hanzo, can their Lucio heal this Hanzo? It's not a Zenyatta, right? So no. So the heals have to go to this Hanzo or he dies, right? Which means the heals get taken off their Ryan, right? Like you gotta use your off tank to take resources out of the enemy Ana or to get a free kill, right? Like this would be a good moment for him to be diving there. But like if he dives down to the cart, does Doju's damage make like any real difference in this fight with the Reinhardt Diva? Not really, right? And you have a Zenyatta anyway, so he makes up the damage difference for where Doge is somewhere else, right? Not enough to splits on the Rhine still. So good finish on the Rhine. Okay, so now that the cart has moved up, you can hold this space for a while and then come back later for Golden Zone, right? Just make sure you have 6 when you back into the Golden Zone. I don't disagree with it. Either way works for me. It's just that if you hold up, you make them fight for the space that they're taking, right? And you can still come back out and contest them.
Well, wouldn't
You
it be
know?
better to hold up to get like more of our ults online?
That's what I'm saying. Like holding up makes it burn
And then
time.
just like give up that space easier and then golden zone than like we normally would.
Yeah, Adam gets dove right there, but he's fine. You're holding on the wrong side again. Good shatter, because you know he was in your face, right? So he couldn't react to it.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I
it
went to go
worked.
deal with I went to go deal with their backline in the meantime. Tab was doing that, so that's why the Ana couldn't kill his run right there. I wasn't sure if that's the right call or not.
I have an anti too, I think, so yeah.
Good anti. Bad transcendence. Definitely did not need that there, right? Like heals are not getting interrupted on your Rhine from where you are anyway, right? Like the Rhine can have an orb and on a healing at the same time. Like it was fine. So definitely no need for trans there. The Doomfist though. Right, so what you want to do is wait till they're here and then engage with Slam onto the Ana, right?
Yeah.
And you tell your Hanzo, I'm gonna slam the Ana, right? And when the Ana's in the air, like I'm sure you can hit one storm arrow, right?
Yeah.
And then she should die. Or he can storm arrow her earlier so she's looking at him and then you can just drop, right?
Yep.
But like this positioning is extremely, extremely favorable to Doomfist because you can like 125 from up there or something from the sun.
Yeah, so I went for it. That's why I got the Ana immediately. Oh, tab finished her off somehow.
Yeah, it was a really solid shatter, and B is in a position to finish things, and so is Doomfist, right? So the problem with that transcendence is now you are losing your oh fuck button, right? So definitely don't want to do that, and you always want to make sure that the orb is on the Doomfist when he's engaging versus the Hanzo in this scenario, because he's obviously going to take the damage. Doge should have flown to high ground instead of flying around on low ground because he could have easily gotten away without taking all that damage, right? He was pretty punishable right there, so he should have gone up. So here, I actually would not be against you going into this window as Doomfist, right? And then
I was
waiting.
debating on that. I wasn't sure about that. If not going in there, I wasn't sure about that.
Because Envy is over here, he's providing distraction, right? So this is like an example of playmaking, right? So like he's already up here providing distraction the whole time, right? So like if you
True.
were up here, you can wait for their whole team to rotate under you and decide who you want to engage on, right?
Yeah.
Free.
Yep.
And you could even ask like, Doge to be on the high ground too, and he can just DM you on your engage, right? Like, because let's say like their whole team walks over here and Envy goes back over there, right? And
Yeah.
Diva's here. Like, she could just stand here and flash DM for you if you engage on the Ana anywhere here. She'd eat the sleep, and then you could just kill anyone, right? Like, you guys can dive together, because right now you guys are kind of like a hybrid in a sense, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to say Zenyatta's dive for the Discord. But like, look for opportunities as Doomfist to go to multiple high grounds to surprise them, right? Because like what you're doing right now is relatively static, right? Like, look, their diva knows, right?
Yeah. Because Envy was up there, and they can just like get up the
Yeah.
high ground, and they just saw me.
But like, how many Hanzos come out of spawn and then Sonic that window instead of
Yeah.
here or here? Like, they just don't, right?
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, if they do that, they can just headshot by the Hanzo.
And like, worst case scenario, if they Sonic you, and you see him coming up to the window behind you because you're looking at it, you just leave,
Yeah, I
right?
just punch him in the face.
Yeah, pretty much, right? So you're fine.
It's
if you
like
play
sort
like
of
that.
like a Bey play Hanzo. It's like, oh guys, look at me, I'm Hanzo, and then you're at a different spot. You're just surprising them.
Yeah.
It's yours a Hanzo is like kind of bait in a sense. He's taking tension and you surprise him.
Gotcha.
Adam, stop repeating the same spot over and over again. You're gonna get killed the third time you do it, dude. If they're, maybe not platinum. I don't know. But yeah, he keeps repeating that same spot, and it's not so good. Doge, help with the high ground more. You don't even belong on the low ground. Like, the only time I want to see you on the low ground is when you're trying to eat an ultimate, right? If you're not trying to eat an ultimate, don't be there. I think big anti by fake if it doesn't get eaten. Oh, I went too far. Never mind. So tab and fake. Bad nano, right? Because the cart isn't going to cap yet. You can wait the duration and may ult out and then touch, right? You can still put out heals. You're not getting your heals interrupted, so there's no real reason to nano there. And then tab, just because you got nanoed in a bad way doesn't mean you have to charge into the blizzard to go die on cart, right? You have the
Oh,
chance.
I was trying to contest cart because everybody else is backing and they're aggressing.
But you have Diva. She doesn't even die if she flies to the car and gets team-mec'd, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But
I think you
Diva's
guys
back
lost
there.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
she can
that's
fly.
Diva's job. She can fly. You can't fly.
Yeah. She also has
You
It's
bomb.
so
sometimes
short, it's like 3 or 4 seconds or something. So
Yeah, she could also just throw it in the air and make them scatter for like 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm. But like, this is a misplay by both tanks because Diva shouldn't be on the ground; she should be on the high ground, and Tab shouldn't be in the blizzard at all because he didn't get blizzarded, right? And this was also a misplay by Ana because that did not need a nano. Tad, stop getting pressured into like doing stuff with your nano. If you got poorly nanoed, Fake, stop poorly nanoing. And don't let yourself get pressured by Tab into nanoing him in bad situations. Yep. It's an all around problem right now though, right?
I think here, like, you don't know if the anti happened, but like, just wait out the blizzard then nano. Because he can't do
Yeah,
anything.
no, I
in
got it.
the
You guys
blizzard
just talked
for
about
him.
it.
And this diva button to remech or whatever, just fly at the cart and then do it. You weren't even frozen or anything. This bomb was wasted in the corner when it could have been used to stall more time. Adam, charging your Transcendence too slow. Didn't you Transcendence once like 3 fights ago? Right?
Yeah.
And then now it's only 73% charged and it's been like 2 more minutes since then or something, right? I can go back and look at the time in like a personal VOD with Adam another time, but like his rate of charge Transcendence is too slow because they should have had one here, especially against a team with a diva. You have to farm their tanks, not their squishies. More discords on the Rhine too. But yeah, overall, I mean, you goldens on them for quite a while, so I was okay with it. Definitely probably the best map you played all night. Dude, the statues of Zenyatta?
No, it's of
An Omnic.
the Gandhi Omnic or whatever his name is. I
Yeah,
can't
it's
remember.
of the guy
The
that
one that gets
Widowmaker
killed.
assassinates.
The one
Yeah.
that Widow kills. Yep.
This is so cool.
It's
I've never
Zenyatta's
looked at
friend.
it
I
before.
forgot his name.
Yeah.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
You mean you don't Bastion up there with Sim?
Ready. 4, 3,
No.
2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Do you have any notes specific to this fight, Laura?
I think. Wait, look at Doge again for a second.
You bubbled too early.
Yeah, he fell behind shield too. Like, he's tasting like, okay, I'm going for bubbles and then push up the shield so Tab doesn't push up with him.
Mm-hmm.
Because now he just bubbled behind shield. Again, it's like surcharge, I think.
I don't ever know when
Um,
the bubbles are coming.
It should just be like bubbled you, bubble myself, bubbled you, bubbled myself. That's it, right? Like, or no bubble for 4, no bubble for 8, you know, whatever. And
I'm
that
just watching the
bubble.
fights as you watch it too right now, Alexis, because it's like I have to tap in, tap out. So I'm just watching from this view too.
Okay. The bubble right there could have been used on the Hanzo who got dove by Diva. Right now you guys are resting to wait for stuff. Adam better not get picked doing this. Okay, this is fine.
Yeah, I thought we
No.
called for both of them. Go take it.
Now you guys both take the right hand side.
30 seconds remaining.
Good. Good on Envy and Adam right there to take the high ground. So Tab. Hug the wall, like left wall here, right? Their Diva's about to do that too, which is huge. So now that their Diva is demeched, what do you know? And you picked Hanzo. You're up 2, essentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
Baby Diva is like essentially down 1 person. So that means that you should get topped off on your health bar as best you can and then play really aggressive, right? Don't push them without resources, otherwise it's like pushing down without a player, right? Because look, you never give a chance for your health bar to recover, right? Like you're 100 HP, you have to mind your health bar more as Ryan, and then hard shield and play cover a little bit more because like Fake needs time to burst you back up, especially if he doesn't have nade or he's already used nade, right? But like he needs time after that because there's no reason for you to die in a like scenario like this, right? They have no burst damage. They have a dead Hanzo, right? And now your team can get run over by a nanoed Ryan, which is not very good. Okay, Fake. Why are you there?
There?
You can't be there.
I think you could have just walked backwards. I don't know how you got there. You got like bubbles out of your bad position. I'm not sure how
Yeah, I
you
don't
got
know.
there. Why?
Look at this.
Oh, I
Did you
moved
walk-
that way because of the wall. That's why I went that way. And then I didn't move back.
Stay here. It's fine.
Oh,
Why are you moving up?
He got swung on by the Rhine and knocked over there.
So I was
But he shouldn't be
between.
there.
So I moved.
Yeah.
So I moved so I could see our Zarya, who was backing up on the left. And then about between the car, the Reinhardt hit me and it projected me onto the point.
just go wide right. Go to the right. In the doorway. Yeah, no. So don't go towards him. Go to a stronger off angle on the right hand side.
Yeah, I can see that. But my bad. Let's see.
The Hanzo on your team needs to play more aggressive onto their side and go to the other high ground. Because right now you're not shooting anything. In fact, Laura, watch his perspective. I don't think he's shooting anything, right?
It's the thing I told earlier too. Like he needs to like get value. Like if he's not hitting squishies, pressure around hard. And there's like nobody to contest it either, because Steven's team Mike Tanz is dead, and now Diva's back.
I remember this was a Q simulator.
Yeah, everyone just ulted, essentially, right?
I used Blizzard because I wanted to win the fight, and I just started grabbing, and Dragons came out. I was like, oof. Happens.
It happens. You guys were stressed because you had no time left, right? I'm not saying it's sound decision making or whatever, but fine, right?
Mhm.
We were really, really worried you were gonna C9. We were in a Skype call and we were like,
Yeah.
I bet you Fake's gonna C9 this because he's gonna try and go heal the Rhine.
No, no, no.
No,
We
I
yelled that
did.
so
Our teammates
loud,
called it.
we literally
I
said,
think
"Don't
Fake
C9,
was dead too initially, so I was like, like normally
Don't
Fake was
C9.
in the car, like yeah.
don't C9." We literally said it multiple times. Don't C9, don't C9.
Yeah.
Big shatter.
Really big shatter. You wanna like clear those people off and then take forward space.
I think by now you could have already start run hard, get space. It's like a diva, like we can deal with the diva.
You want to be up at this corner,
I-
like
yeah.
box
Yeah.
them into here, because when they're boxed into here, what happens? What alternate gets really, really good value for you right there,
Yep.
even without a
The
grab,
grab. Yeah.
or the dragon, right?
Yep.
Even without the grab, if you had them boxed into that corner right here and you dragging them, you're going to get a kill, right? Maybe two.
Yeah.
Like, we need to start looking at Dragon as a more flexible ultimate, especially because Envy farms it twice as fast as Doge farms his grab most of the time, right? So looking for opportunities to box them into narrow chokeways, both from like a shot calling perspective and a tanking perspective, is like really, really optimal for you guys, right? Doge not playing behind shield, Tab playing too wide. Play a little bit like between the cart and the wall, right? I don't understand that charge, but it happened. Doge really out of position right here. I think he grabs Diva Defense Matrix.
I think so, yeah.
I think I remember something like that. I don't like it. I think they nanoed the Lucio too, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Look at that zoning
Yeah,
ult.
but he still got something, right?
Yeah.
So when you're getting frozen, Tab, what should you always do as well?
If I'm getting frozen, hit E, I would assume. The shield.
Transform back into a ball so you have no head hitbox. You can't get headshotted,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Ball is like the #1 counter to cheaters and Mei, in the sense that like she can't headshot him, so she can never finish him by herself, right? Because he has no head hitbox when he's transformed, so he kills like all hackers everywhere, except Soldier. So in this case, you probably would not be this low. In fact, you'd probably be around half health, honestly. Makes a big difference in a small like fight, especially because you only play ball on contest. Like if you're ever getting CC'd or know you're about to get CC'd, transform. So you guys win those, I think. Looks good.
Yep, we have resources. They don't.
I break you.
I mean, at this point, it's kind of all out, just like brawl. You know what I mean? So it might be worthwhile, like,
Swapping to all out brawl.
yeah. So I understand your ball for the recontest. May is staying May for ulti. Hanzo, everything is fine. But who on your team could probably benefit from switching a little bit? Probably Lucio, right?
Yeah.
Because he's not speeding anybody anymore. So like if he has time, he can come back on break. But sometimes running back to cart as speedy person might be a little bit better. But like for example, right here would be fine. Because his defensive ulti doesn't even really like charge very fast. And something to note, when you're playing in overtime situations, what do you want? Ultimates that charge really, really fast, right? So if you know you have 1 minute going in, do you guys charge Grab Dragon on average once a minute?
No.
Probably Dragon. Dragon every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Can you charge a May ulti in 1 minute?
No.
No.
So, but you can win fights on May without an ulti because she has wall. So she's a solid pick in OT, right? And her ultimate does wipe cart and stuff pretty easily.
Yeah.
And Dragon is solid for making picks, but who's better at making picks? Probably Widowmaker, right? Although she wants slow play. Or you can play Farah, who gets barrage really fast and gets kills really easily, right? Like, you want to change your win conditions up a little bit because you don't want to rely on something like Zarya, who takes time to become charged, right? Like Doge, for example, whipped his first bubble the first 8 seconds of the match, right? You're already down like 15 seconds. It takes you like 10 to walk out of spawn or something like that, right? And then he has to wait till he can get charged again. So you might be walking in with a Zarya who is effectively zero charge and not able to charge ulti fast, right? So it's very risky to play ultimates like Grab Dragon in 1 minute pushes, right? So like from a shot calling perspective for Doge when he watches this video later, consider switching your team's comp to things that either A, stay really, really well on the cart, like May, Orisa, Sig, shit like that, right? Or B, fast charging ultimates or things that get kills really, really easily, right?
So I have a question since you bring that up. A lot of times when we have like a 1 minute push in like a second round type situation,
Mhm.
like a lot of times the healers will go Moira so they can get coalescence and just like frag a squishy early, or would you still stay Ana for the anti?
I would actually play Ana Moira. It's not
Ana
even
Moira.
like a meme because like Moira, Coalescence, and Ana Nano, they both charge incredibly, incredibly fast. They're like the fastest charging healer ultimates or something like
Yeah,
that.
because you can get it in like 20 seconds, I feel like.
Or you can get Brig Rally, right? Ana, Moira, Brig. So you play some combination of those three, right? And you play for fast charging healer ultimates. From your tank line, you want to go Rhine, right? And you want to go Diva. Why do you want to go Diva?
Bomb.
I
She's
don't
a
care
lot
about
of
bomb.
She's a lot of
She
damage.
eats
She's a free
ultimates,
life, and
She
she
eats
can eat
ultimates.
ults. Yeah.
right? And
Just
she can
too
always
less.
contest cart, right?
Yeah. Just too
She can
less.
test high ground, she can test cart, and she denies ultimates. But the biggest thing is denying ultimates, right?
Yeah.
Because they're trying to charge their ultimates fast to wipe you guys. Same thing on the defending side. That's why defending side Diva is also very strong in overtime. So like for composition builds in the future, I want you guys to try something like one of those three healers, a Ryan and a Diva, because Shatter charges incredibly fast, right? On hybrid, especially like King's Row.
Yeah.
Right? And then your DPS, play something that like is really, really easy to run people over with, right?
Like Reaper May.
Like Reaper May, right?
For me.
Because like Hanzo wants time to get picks, right? And his dragon needs help typically, right? So you don't want to play Hanzo. You want to run in with a Reaper. He doesn't need his ultimate to get kills because his kill potential comes from literally running people over, right? And then run them over, and that's it, right?
Gotcha.
Just adding another dimension to payload maps and stuff like that.
Bro, this sleep. What the fuck?
Why'd you make it slept? I'm confused.
I think she went through the doors.
Good pick by Envy, good off angle. Good job, Pichu.
We're doing the same thing here. While one side push the other side.
Wall better.
Yeah, I messed up that wall. I remember that, yeah.
And if you know last time they all came out that one door, what's the other door?
Dude, I thought that dragon wasn't gonna hit it when I first watched this replay.
Yeah,
I was like, that's so high.
I remember this.
Initiating map. Ready for battle.
Fortunately, the Reinhardt forgot to crouch.
Oh, I remember this.
5,
I swapped the Mei here.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Pichu actually did a pretty decent job of pressuring their fire. I think he kills them at least once, right? So
I
that's
think
a fun
so.
bubble for Doge, right? So when they have Pharmacy, what do they want?
Get you in a nice tight bunch and just cleave you
Yep.
and build
Okay.
barrage.
Splash damage.
Yeah.
And they want time, right? To make a kill.
Mhm.
So two things you can do to like reduce this is to pressure their front line, right?
Yep.
Because they don't have healing on their Rhine the same way they do with the Lucio or speed on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you want to pressure, like overall, like frontline pressure, because Pharmacy kind of is not so good with that.
Yeah.
So here,
Seconds remaining.
Tab will probably live here. I don't think Tab should die. Okay, so the nade missed. That is what happened, right? Because
Yeah,
I
Adam
think they
was
could
in front of
Adam
me when I threw it.
happens. I
Adam,
guess?
what?
Jumped
So
over him.
either a DPS or the other support will fade in front of me as I toss the nade. And sometimes even if I jump, it's if the Reinhardt is close enough, I can't arc it enough to get over the person in front of me who comes in front.
Oh, so Adam just got in the way.
Yeah, it'll
Yeah,
clip the top of their
happens.
head and shatter on them and me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
annoying.
It happens on
It
DPS too.
happens, yeah.
Yeah, it happens all the time. Yeah.
And what Doge could have done is he could have run towards his Rhine, right? And self-bubbled to absorb some of the damage. That would have made the difference too, right? Or Pichu could have blocked in front of him. Like, do anything you can to save Tab. Did his
Yeah.
shield break? I don't think
No,
his
no,
shield
no,
broke
no,
either.
no.
But you
No.
held shield the whole time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That one's like not really on you. Your team could have just done a little bit more for you right there. Doge doesn't really help when you get walled. He off angles, so he doesn't approach it after he has to approach. And here you guys should legitimately switch off of Hanzo Zarya to Kree Diva, and then maybe play a second hit scan,
Yeah.
like a Widowmaker or something, right? Like I would go Kree Widow even, right?
Yeah, I went Kree here.
In this kind of situation where they don't have like much defensive ult, you wouldn't stay with like Mei for overtime cart push if we could get the ult online.
She
You'd
doesn't
go the
get any
double
value
hit
with her
scan.
wall, right? So it doesn't really matter
Okay.
because you can't wall their team. Like
I was just thinking as more like a team wipe ult with the Mei ult in overtime, but
it doesn't really matter. You guys could Transcendence
okay.
and walk onto them, Nano Boost and walk onto them. It doesn't really.
Gotcha.
Like their whole damage comes from fire pretty much. You just shut her down and welcome their team. So yeah, I would agree to hit scans. I think you guys went Kree Hanzo and then play for
Yeah.
Crab
We
Giant
stayed-
too, I think.
Yeah, they made me. I went the Kree here.
But you want a Diva because it's not very good to play with that one. And I might switch off of the Zenyatta for a Lucio or like maybe a Mercy.
Mercy
Depends.
damage boost.
Maybe a Mercy for your cream. And if you were really, really like
So
into it, you could play a Moira and then Coalescence or Ana to death.
if we go double hit scan here, I know we swapped the McCree, but what would the second hit scan be on like this tight corridor?
Widow?
Widow.
Yeah.
Widow.
It is very, very hard for someone like a Farah to take a Widowmaker sitting back here in this corridor. Like impossible almost, right?
Would you damage boost the Widowmaker so she gets the body shot kills instead of the Kree?
I'd probably damage boost the Kree and just make sure my Mercy knows to heal the Widow.
Okay.
Because if I just get a body shot in, the Widow can just like get a random body shot and it should be enough to kill the.
I I thought the damage boost body shot from Widow is a one shot.
No, it's not
No.
enough. It's 120 max. Your damage boost gives you 150.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adam charging ulti. In between the fights, so he's gonna get picked. Fine. But yeah, make more switches here.
30 seconds remaining.
Because realistically speaking, you gotta look at their comp. So who on their team actually gets grab dragoned?
I mean, really just May and Reinhardt.
Reinhardt
May,
and
Ana.
maybe Diva
Maybe
if she's
Ana.
there.
Anna's playing so far back she shouldn't,
Ana's playing
and
so far-
Mercy shouldn't, and Farah shouldn't.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel like
it's
it's
we-
hard.
I mean, I guess you could grab Pharmacy in the air against a wall.
No, it's not reliable at all.
Easy
Like, you can
headshots.
only pretty much run hard, and it's
But
like
the
a
Rhine
waste
can't
of
block
builds.
them.
So, and if you happen to grab dragon their Ryan, what happens to him? Mostly, probably a res, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So realistically speaking, grab dragon against this comp should not theoretically do a lot, right? Obviously, we're playing in an elo where like people miss positions, so you might be able to punish off of that. But like, you just have to look at this logically and say, hey, grab dragon against this comp doesn't make sense, right? Like even if they don't have a defensive LT, like grab dragon here is no good.
Yeah.
And then not play it. So between here, I would probably try and get charge as Doge. I wouldn't swing so wide because that's dangerous. I would stop playing so aggressive without my own personal bubble. He's taking space like he's got 5 bubbles, dude.
Yeah. Are these so wide? Like,
Okay, and you trying to get
I
your
think you guys got walled, or
They start on the left because it's easier for me to heal them. I'm not sure how far they can actually go forward before I lose sight. It's like right, maybe, what is that, 4 steps forward?
I don't think you should until like way past the bush.
And no, it's about the bush over. Like, if you guys are all the way up by the archway on the bush, I can see the bush. Once you go past the bush, I can't see you much anymore from where I am.
like, has May used wall? Because I feel like you guys are in a weird position. Like, you two tanks.
he just ran down the side of the corridor, dude. Like there was no
Like-
wall, he just went.
Like, this is really weird positioning.
Alright, and so Fate, if you look at their team, does anything on their team one shot you?
Uh, no, I don't think the damage boosted fire rocket just puts me critical.
Alright, so it's pretty safe for you to come out a little bit to help heal your tanks a little bit, right? Because your team's trying to take space from us, you need to heal them through it. And then you can go back into whatever position you want after, right?
Yeah.
But never be so scared that, like, you stop healing, right? Like, just because you're told to heal there doesn't mean you can't move, like, 3 steps forward and then go back, right? A little bit of flexibility. Alright, so right here you want to take the space to push the pharmacy out. Okay, so there's the Maywall we're talking about, right? Can you see a massive positioning error by your team? Tanks are about 50 feet away from heals, right? For no real reason, right? At least not yet. And your DPS are not in a position either. So walk up together, right? 4 people should be with Tab right now. Or 3 other people, at least, right? But right now it is Tab and Doge. So I think it's a matter of tanks taking space too fast, though, because I watched that, I'm like, what the fuck? Right?
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck, too? Because
Yeah, I've already
I
swapped.
forgot this game. Like, I forgot what exactly happened, but I was like, you guys are gonna get walled. And it did happen.
I saw it too.
Right. So if Pichu was here and Hanzo was, on here, it'd be much harder for this fire to exist in this space because at this range, this Hanzo could probably take the fire, right? And then the Kree helping as well from the ground could probably take the fire from this range. Doesn't matter if she has a mercy, right? Because that pharmacy, if we're positioned properly, are mispositioned, right? But we are positioned poorly, and so there's no punish. But I think this is more like the tanks taking space faster than the DPS
Yeah.
can keep up with. Not because you walk faster, but because like you look at it and you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Right? Doge. Your bubble timings, dude. Wait till you're taking damage before you bubble. Hanzo, take control of the high ground above, so that they can't come through the window for free. Because if Hanzo was on low ground, Pharmacy literally gets his res off for free, and no one can test them coming through the window. Because the only way they actually can come through is through the window, right? Or they decide to go like all the way around bottom, or like through the archway. Regardless, right? Like playing a Hanzo here makes it impossible for them, right?
I tried to stop that res. I was like, I can't do anything about that.
You can't stop the res that was on your Hanzo, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
Pichu
is Fake
resist
here?
res or resist the shatter. Good job, Pichu.
I rolled away just in time, buddy.
I was moving up there because the tanks kept playing into the right side, so I couldn't see them.
Oh my god.
Go left-hand archway then if you really need to, right?
For sure, but then I couldn't see the Zarya, and the Zarya needed healing, which is why that's why I was there at the moment.
Bookstore?
I think is there a May in there?
Is that me on the right side?
Yeah, there's a May
Uh-oh.
in there.
Why is there a May here? Pichu.
Pichu, what is going on?
Pichu did it again. I think Pichu tried to contest the rest, but he can't do
Yeah,
that.
I
And
can't do
there's a
that.
May.
Hanzo, sit here and test the window.
Yeah, I was like trying to look 30 different ways at once, and I was just like, yeah, okay. I think I even
Stand
called
in this
it.
doorway.
There's a May on the right.
Figure out if they're coming this way or this way is your job, right? Because you can see them through the window, right?
Yeah.
And then kill
Yep,
it.
that's how windows work.
Yeah, I was up there because that was the only spot I could see both tanks.
Bro, how are you not shattered right now?
I don't know, dude. I think I might get shattered right now. Who knows? It might. No, I didn't. Oh my god.
So this is a problem. Like, we just let her sneak in for free because we didn't control top, right?
Yeah.
Also because we don't play a diva. Bruh.
I think we do swap to the diva.
And then we had to kill, and then we didn't actually punish the rest either.
Are
Yeah,
you
like,
sure
oh,
we
whatever.
swapped to a
Things went
diva?
wrong.
It would be impossible for
Pretty sure we
Farah to
stay
come
for
through.
Grab Dragon.
Do you really? Oh
I'm
god.
pretty sure we do. Knowing Doge, like
Yeah,
80%,
probably.
we're staying.
That is true. That is true. For sure, because it's the.
I don't remember, but I'm taking a guess.
Yeah.
Doge, bro. You come out like you have 5 bubbles. He's always like so far in front of Tab.
And
3 steps, and that's it. 2 steps if you don't have
I am
bubbles.
the main tank now.
yeah, dude.
Listen to me. I am the main tank now.
Alright, who do we
And
leave
let's spot
behind?
the May. And
I'm just coming back right now. So.
Oh, look at the May up there. Sneaky, sneaky.
yeah.
I don't know how I feel about MB going on this thing. I feel like he could have just wall climbed right here.
Yeah, he could have.
Don't put yourself out of the fight to take better positioning. Put yourself in a good position.
I don't remember if I flashed this mail, by the way. I'm not sure. That. No.
So Tab, where are you
Hi.
going? Behind
I'm
the cart?
killing the Rhine.
Just stay on your side of the cart,
So
bro.
wide. Yeah, why you go so wide?
He's a little bitch Rhine shielding. I'm killing him.
That's what I love Tab. Never fucking dull answer no matter what.
Stay on your side of the cart. Well, that's fair. Hanzo. Bro. You need an orb from Zan. Zan, take the 2 steps back. Give your Hanzo an orb. Poor boy's
Have plenty of
dying.
payload now.
I'm not in front of the cart. I'm not in front of the cart.
Like what? I think here, Tab. Like you go from
Sorry,
right
I'm
to
so
on
happy.
top to left.
Zarya, stay over here, right? Use the cart as cover, beam them. Don't be over here, out of position, trying to like clip the side of their team. No, over here, okay? And McCree, where are you going?
Why you there, Pichu? What?
I don't know. I was trying to keep my head away from the pharmacy. I don't know.
Come out here, stand on the corner, shoot the Farah, back up, shoot the Farah a little bit more, back up, apply pressure to their Ryan, like.
I'm applying pressure to their Rhine. He's half though. Look at him. Andy's got
I know.
Discord. He's
You're,
dead.
you're gonna die here in a minute.
No, dude, I got full HP. Look at that.
We got trans.
I
Don't
have,
worry.
I have great healers.
Like this fight, everyone positioned wrong pretty much.
Hanzo needs to be on the catwalk with Zenyatta orb, Okay, Zen needs to be like 3 steps back because he sees the same thing 3 steps back, but he can see
Who
his
has an
Hanzo.
orb?
You?
You
Oh,
do,
okay.
Tab.
Crazy Reinhardt out in front.
Sorry, has to be closer. Kree has to be a bit closer too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
So
getting
Zen
shatter
right
real
here.
quick.
Zen right here. Anna, you're fine. Hanzo above. Right?
Hey
Tree.
guys, did you hear that? I was in the right spot this time.
For once.
Only one.
Kree, stand like here and apply pressure. Right? Zarya, stand in front of your Kree and apply pressure. Brian, get off the cart before you get shattered or something.
He doesn't have shatter.
I don't know if you know when he has shatter, so just
No,
as
Adam
a
said he
rule
didn't.
of thumb, don't trust Adam with the shatters, bro. Track the shatters
I
yourself.
trust my teammates. No.
Track the shatters
No, I
yourself.
think
Never
he
stand
actually
on the
used
cart.
it like early last fight, so we did actually know he didn't have it.
It's being
Stand on
left
the cart.
card, so it's easier for your
Yeah.
Ana to heal you. And like your Sara is there too, your Kree is there too. Like it's really easy for Ana to heal everyone.
The reason you want to be on the ground is so you can hold shield for your Zarya and stuff like that, right? No wonder getting shot in the kneecap and dying. Stand like against the cart like this. Hold your shield. Let your Zarya stand here, and when they move closer, swing on them. Play the side of the cart. Back up right here. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it'll be fine. And so everyone's positioning is kind of garbage here, but it will get better over time when you guys actually trust each other. Because right now, I don't think anybody cares about anybody, right? Adam doesn't care if his Ana dies behind him or his Hanzo standing above his head. Pichu doesn't care if his Ryan gets run over by the enemy Ryan. He's just
I
like,
I
Farah,
object to
over
this
there.
statement. I care
Picture.
too much about all of you.
Pietro sees a fire and is like, I'm out of here, I'm running.
In my defense, I don't play this role, so there you go.
And Zarya's like, Ryan, it's okay if you die. And they knocked out.
Bruh, where's my bubble? There it is.
There it is.
There's-
Right,
there's my
Pichu. This
zoning.
high noon. If you had been on the right hand side, what would have happened? Instead of left.
Died.
3
What
dead.
are you aiming your high noon at right now? You want to see?
Zoning the Farah. Ooh, that
Only
mercy
2
though.
people.
Oh, let it go!
Shoot the Mercy.
The Mercy. Could have killed the Mercy.
She was in Valk too.
Peach.
But if you had been right here, right, and Tab held shield for you, you would have been able to kill the Farah, the Mercy, and the Ryan would have had nowhere to actually hide from you, right? But you put yourself in a position that LOS yourself, right? So that's not good.
If
Okay.
the Peter was your worst enemy at this point.
What is this
I have a-
transcendence?
I have a question. This is mostly out of curiosity, but is there any value for our McCree going up to the catwalk for ultis here on this point? Or this part of the point?
He's gonna get shut up by Farah. Before his Hino's gonna finish maybe. He can just be behind Shield safe this way.
Okay.
Don't transcendence the Blizzard. It's Blizzard Bomb. I don't know.
You can stand in
But
front
yeah.
of it.
That's what the bubble's for. Literally, one person is in the Blizzard, dude. Just bubble fake out, and he's fine, right?
Poor fake it, dude.
Oh, look at that rocket coming for fake it. Oh,
There's a
big
good
dragon. I'm slept. What the fuck?
Secure the far again.
Right. So a
I'm
lot
surprised
of
you guys
questions.
won this fight.
Pure aggression. That's how we won.
Sometimes I'm like, you guys are so passive. And other times I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm so glad.
I feel like a lot of times we just try to play like super clean and like only use certain ults that are called instead of just like,
dude.
you know,
I'm so glad that they
seeing what's in front of us sometimes.
told me to play Kree that day. I was glad I was playing quick play for like maybe 20 minutes before.
Okay, let's talk about the match you guys actually lost.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Okay, so automatically they're walking on dive, right? So let's talk about what happens when they dive and what switches you should make right away. So immediately Widow goes free, right? And then you guys just play stacked, and you're fine. And if that's not working, you switch counter dive, and then you dive your Ana, right? One or the other. And Hanzo, if you are not making picks on Hanzo, go Reaper.
Okay.
Right. Don't open with your Widow on that angle ever. We talked about this in VOD reviews last time. you already own the space, so you don't go there. That was Doge's call. I remember that. Doge, no, go there, or even there. Like, not on the pillar, but like here, right here. Right. Or start cheeky angle on the inside, right?
So
Like, it
almost
doesn't matter. Just not there. Anywhere but there.
so almost anywhere as long as it's not that spot.
Exactly, yeah.
Like,
More
look,
aggressive. Look what space we have, and look how far back our Widow and device playing.
Yeah, like I was wondering about that when I used to play Widow all the time. I'm like, what does this spot even give for me? It's like, how come it's better like top right and top left
Like
are
if
not
you play
better?
closer to, like you have all the spaces Widow, like the space that automatic is ours,
Yeah.
and then our diva can actually fly back and forth towards team and Widow, or even Hanzo if he needs help. Right now he can't reach a team at all. So it's like we get like right now with these positions we have to get 1 or 2 Widow picks like right now. If it doesn't happen, then like we're losing like two people. Two people are not getting value.
right now it is a 6v4, essentially.
Yeah.
Those two back there are dead. They're out of the fight. Same thing, right? So don't be dead, don't be out of the fight, and don't be up there. Right? So their dive. Is there any reason you guys should ever get picked off by that comp? Who in your team should theoretically die to that comp? Your Ana, right? But
Mhm.
what happens when you have break? You throw 3 packs of armor on Yana. Does she die? No, she does not. She's effectively got a mercy beam all the time, too. On top of those 3 packs of armor, as long as your break hits something, right? Like literally anything. So this shouldn't look like an issue. Just Tab is doing good with staying on this position.
I think I swung out a little too wide and got punched by the anti.
So you want Fake playing a lot closer, playing stacked with us for the brig armor?
What are you looking at, dude?
Even to
Ooh,
hit
he's one,
Doge,
dude.
Doge's
He's
fine.
one. He's not even one.
Throw the 3 packs of armor on top of your Ana, hit the monkey 1 time, and this dive is done. And Fake, pocket your break.
Just bucket each other, pretty much. Break
Just
Ana
kill each
pocket.
other, like hug each other, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I
Like
was
there's
trying
no
to.
way. Like if Laura and I in that position, we can stand there for about like, I don't know, a whole minute before we die. Right?
Yeah, I was trying to pocket the brig, but she took. I don't know. Did we get antied? Is that when she died? Because she was full health
I
for a
think
little while.
Asian
And then
got
she
anti.
died right after
I
that.
think Asian was the only one that got anti, I think.
You can watch
I
it
think
back.
what happened is you guys got
I mean,
deified and then
I'm
Ada
anti.
went back to heal Doge and then I don't know, it's kinda silly.
I think it was only me because I was antied when you were paused.
This fucking perspective thing is driving me insane.
Oh, Asian got
She
antied.
got antied.
Oh,
So Asian died to the anti.
Stay out of the bubble, Fake. Get out of the bubble. Everyone should know on the team, when the bubble goes down, everyone gets out of it, right?
Was it a Genji dash that killed Brig? What happened there?
It doesn't
Or was
matter
it
what
Tracer?
killed Brig, it was Tracer, but like neither of you guys should die in that scenario, right?
I mean, but I thought I was putting heals on Brig. Yeah.
You needed her. But yeah, like you don't lose. Like this comp is designed that like even if you have to play against dive with your opening fight, something should happen, right? Because they died one sniper, they died the other, right? But a series of things happened here. So they all dove Hanzo, right? But Hanzo was sitting with Ryan and Ana and Brig, so it should be a non-issue, right? He got antied. Whatever, he dies. But at that point, your Ryan and your Brig should make a pick. The Ana should sustain, right? And your Widow, who is playing against no shields, should kill something, right? But what happened was your Widow was out of position with the Diva. And so they were repositioning and they were on the ground the whole fight. And if they're on the ground back there where the monkey is the whole fight, how are they going to make a pick on what's going on over here? They can't because they're essentially dead, right? So you guys lost because mispositioning on one side, right? And not enough healing on the other, right? But if your Widow had been up here and the Tracer and the Genji and the monkey jumped in, right? Like something would have happened, but unfortunately not. So this is where you make the switch to Kree. And when you switch to Kree, which way do you want to path?
Let's see here. Hanzo, Kree. I mean, I honestly probably the same way.
Okay, right now you're still Widow for whatever reason because we didn't call the
No,
switch early enough.
because we want to go into that room, right? Because they can't dive us if they have a roof over our heads, right?
Which one?
Like on the left side perspective.
Here?
Yeah.
Correct. So, you want to go through there as a team because obviously dive sucks in small rooms, as Asian said. Right? So, you go in there and imagine if a dive comp follows you into that room and you have a Kree and a Hanzo. What happens? Everything dies.
Also,
Right.
we have a Reinhardt too, so he hits everything.
And a Brig.
Mhm.
Right? And free antis in the small space, hard for the enemy Ana to anti, but you're already in there, so free, right? So
Assuming
it's
I
a
can get
very
an
safe.
anti around my other players, I can get it all over their team, but that's gonna be hard.
Even if it's on your team yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like what happens? Automatically, like your
The
Brig
break
will
heals.
heal
The
everything.
break heals through everything.
Right. But right now you're pathing outside, you switch to Moira, which I agree with, right? But you need to switch the Widow.
Widow to Kree.
And Widow needs to stop playing back there when no one is challenging her. Look, this monkey literally solo jumped into your team. He should die. What was happening during the duration of that fight? Let's watch it back in slow-mo. It's actually super interesting. A little bit further back. Watch the left-hand side. What's going on over there? Same thing as the first fight. Your Widow and your Diva are still in rotation when they dive you guys, and so they're effectively out of the fight, right? So every single fight you guys go into, you will be 4v6 because your team is misplaying on the double snipers, right? So one, you're playing double snipers into dive, which you should not do, but two, you're also playing it incorrectly, right? Because your team should never be rotating from a bad position into a good position when a fight is going on, right? Because if you're rotating during the fight, you're not contributing to your team, right? You're not giving value. So that was also bad. So here you go and make the switch, I think, this death to Kree, which should have happened earlier. I actually would have popped sights and spawned for half a second to see if they were staging anywhere and then switched, right? Because you already have the ultimate. But this seems bad and they don't actually stage their dives. So that's fine. So let's watch the way you guys actually path, though. I believe you guys go coast again, which is, like, not really so good. Because it's very open, and that's actually to their strength, right? Because if you go coast, what are they doing right now? We talk about it all the time. The Genji was on this high ground, the Monkey was on that high ground, right? And the Diva's here. They're staging, right? To pounce on you guys, right? And if they're staging, and you walk right through the middle of their staging, what is going to happen to you and your team? You're going to get pounced on, right? So, obviously, you want to avoid that. So you just go the far side and make all their work for nothing, and you go to point. Right, and you play in the cubby on the corner right here. You think Monkey's gonna outcleave you there? No. If anything, Nanoblade will kill you. And you've already lost this point because you took too long to make switches to Kree, and now you have 0 ultimates going into the next fight, right? So you need to make the switch the first fight. So effectively, this is lost.
Yeah, I think when you play this map and you see their dive and you double sniper switch already. First fight is over switch. Don't say Widow. Just switch because it's gonna make your team side way easier. Because as right now as Widow, you're not gonna get any value.
You can play Moira Brig, Moira Lucio, Brig
Just-
Lucio. Doesn't really matter.
Just kind of pick their comp, just punish them. Like just go Kree Hanzo, even if you want Kree Reaper, if you really want to punish hard.
Ready for battle.
Okay, so you go out this way, and this is bad what? what do you want to do right away? Take high ground, right?
Yep.
Why
high
do you want
ground.
to take high ground? Because it puts you on a position where you can pounce on them at any time, even if you're brawl, right? Because you can amp yourselves onto them. So you want to amp early out of spawn and then stage high ground so you get your positioning for your Hanzo. Because what if you can put your Rhine shield up there and your Hanzo gets to shoot people for free? Because he doesn't have to worry about taking damage, right? Like, it's huge. Right now, he's off by himself, trying to take high ground, right? And that's not really so good. And what are you rushing for? You have 17 seconds to the point unlocks, right? So there's no real point to running to the point first, right? Because what can you do with Maywell? So the team that rotates into point first, right? Imagine there was an enemy team doing what I told you guys to do, right? Say a mirror comp as you guys, right? And they're up here and you're down there and you're rotating to point. What do right away? They wall the door point you guys are trying to run into, right? And now you guys are stuck floating in the free space, right? And then they break your shields and they kill you. Could you do the same thing to another comp? You don't know their dive right now, but theoretically, if you sat up here and you went to ball comp, you could wall them in their rotation because teams are weakest in rotation, right? We talked about this before. So in this case, if you're all on the high ground and they're dive, which is what they're running, what advantage do you get? Hello?
They have to use cooldowns in order to get to you if you're up there.
Yes, perfect. So they have to use
So-
cooldowns to engage on you, and who wins in the close range fight anyway?
Our
We
comp.
Exactly. Alright, so Asian, you see that they're that comp, you want to switch to Kree or Reaper, right? After. But yeah, you want to force them to dive you, right? And then when the point unlocks, you want to force them to go touch the point first, right? Hopefully they use an ability to touch the point, and then you amp onto them and you go into the point, right? And then you just like wall out one side of the point so that like you force the fight to be as linear as possible. Because dive always wants to attack you from every angle, right? Whereas your team wants to attack a front line. See how dangerous it was for your D.Va and Hanzo to have to make that rotation by themselves? Right? He is not really good. So now
I
your
think what you
stuff is
guys
at the
should
point.
do, I think what you guys should do on control points is play like high grounds, weights, check your team comp, then adjust accordingly, like position wise.
I would agree.
There's no rush getting to points. Just chill, look at your team comp. Okay, where do we want to be?
Okay, so right here, you want to break the bubble and then chill inside the point. It's okay to actually use your wall to wall out some of the fire damage, right? To force her to rotate or whatever. Because you realistically don't really do much to that comp. You just want to be spamming up for May out with your right click as much as possible. It's good. How did Asian die?
I pressed shift too late.
Okay.
I think I died with my shift up.
Yeah. Okay, so next time press shift. But overall, they're down their D.Va, right? So what you want to do is play like. Okay, this is fun. The tab, you want to like hug this wall up front, right? Like just stand there and then like flash your shield so you can see in third person, right? And then just cleave the door. So like when the monkey tries to jump through, you obviously wall him in, which is good, right?
The objective is now active.
So Fake is asleep right now. I would argue that Fake, you should probably play against the same wall as your Reinhardt. It's pretty safe.
Yep.
Right, because you can't get cleaved right here without the monkey coming in, right? And you can't get fire splashed easily because she can't see you, right?
Yeah.
So that's probably the safest place for you in this point. But that's what I do at least.
I think that's
But
where I play most of the time. I'm not sure I was out this time.
yeah, so this is good. So you want to stay there because the moment you went wide, you get slept, right?
Yeah.
Fire needs to be contested by a D.Va. So D.Va needs to look for whatever angle the fire is on and then figure that out. And then just stand on that side and pressure her a little bit, right? Like take the shots with your body.
I think Asian should switch to Queen too.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Don't know if you do. Let's see.
I stay Mei the entire round, I think.
Yeah, switch to Kree, punish their dive, punish them, and you're also counting Farah too with your diva. I think we talked about this. I think we talked about this after the match that you don't stay Mei against dive.
And B also doesn't want to stay high ground by himself against dive, so going to point is good. Playing together is good.
You can kind of tell how annoying Farah is. Like, she has no contest right now. She's just free firing, hoping to get a kill, free kill.
So the speed trap is good. They nano the monkey. Their diva is demaxed. You just want to try and stay in the point best you can, right? Because the moment you go out of the point, you're going to get primaled, right? So the way to stop yourself from getting primaled out is to try and put your back to corners, right? So like, I understand you guys are getting forced back here, but you want to avoid getting pushed out of this point specifically by putting your back to corners, right? Because it's the boops that were pushing you out. And this happened to like almost every member of your team. So you need to be more like personally, positionally conscious about where the nearest corner is you put your back to it. Because primal, boop, diva boop, Lucia boop, anything, right? Like it will stop if you hit a wall, right? But too many like environmentals and dispositions from their monkey. Okay, so let's talk about this rotation. You don't want to rotate through that door, right? You want to come out here over the plant pot and go through here. Because then it avoids the loop, right? So you stay the inside red as long as you can. Everyone needs to hop this wall and then come across, right? Because you guys went like this, right? Is that what happened? And this is not
Yeah,
your
the
I
Reinhardt
know.
went to the outside door, so I followed him, but I got booped off by the Pharah.
Well, Reinhardt has steadfast and you don't have steadfast, right? So you need to all as a team make this rotate, and Tab now knows to make this rotate too over the plant pot.
It's same with
I
the
think I
monkey
do on the
boops.
next fight.
Yeah, the next push we corrected and everybody went through.
It's same. Okay, so if they have a Lucio, Farah, monkey primal, at the time they have those heroes, you're always really conscious about environmentals. Play the inside as much as you can, so you don't. Even if they boop you, don't fall down. So play the insides as much as you can. If you die as Anna right now, this shouldn't happen, and it's a lost team fight because of it. So it's like for everyone, be more conscious of what they have that can boop you.
Honestly, at that point, when I lost my honor right there, I would have just jumped off the freaking map, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's such a waste of, like, your alt charge, I guess, for the enemy team if you all, like, jump off instead of feeding them the alt, right? It's like, 100% you lose right there, and if you don't have beat drop, you lose the fight, right? And even if I had beat drop, I probably wouldn't commit it to that fight, I would just jump. Same if you lost your rhyme there, too. Those are, like, the two you can't go without. Everyone else, I think it's okay to go without. Not great, like very suboptimal, but like it's still doable, right? But those two specifically, never ever. So you want to take high ground again. You guys want this really long outside rotate, all the fire spam, and then got here. I don't really see it. Just go the same way you did last time. You wasted percentage. I think you guys actually tried to dry fight with 70% or something like that, right? I don't know. Looks like you ulted though, so it's fine. You're 2 up. You shouldn't need any more ultimates. Okay, well, I guess even though you guys were up, you still struggled a little bit, but it's fine. So next bet you have Bomb and Blizzard, right? Bomb and Blizzard are more than enough to counter a Genji blade, right? Which is what they are walking in with. Did you guys lose this map? No, you
Yep.
win this map,
I think
right?
we win it. Yeah, it seems like
5
we win it.
minutes left.
Oh, we lose well in ruins. Yeah.
Nice. Good blizzard.
Yes, you hear the Genji played really good Blizzard. The kill feed is making things confusing because everyone's red.
Yeah. Makes it confused.
I guess you gotta look at the top.
Right. Tab. They have one thing that blocks your shatter. Right? It's bubble. So don't shatter randomly because your shatter against a composition that has literally no shield is probably the most damaging ultimate to their comp. So use it to carry instead of shattering nothing. Take your time with your ultimate, right?
I think what this 2 maps so far on Ilya showed is that we have to switch way quicker to get a Kree when they're dive.
We just don't have very good calls for switches and stuff like that. I actually think it might help Doge if we broke that roll down to another roll, right? Like comms wise. If we did target calling on tab, alt tracking on Atom, and then like shot calling on Doge, and then took the comp calling / comp switching and then put it on another player, right?
Yeah, a rubby help.
Too much for Fake, I think, because he has to manage other things. So maybe one of the DPS. Just ask Envy
I
to do
think
it.
DPS naturally should be looking at like, oh shit, like I don't have value right now as Widow against dive. I should switch. Because you
Envy's
honestly, if you're
always
switching
in. Just put
DPS,
Envy on that roll.
yeah.
Make the dude talk more. Doesn't say anything anyway. Okay, so obviously on this map you guys are having a problem with this comp. So this comp is what you call a hybrid comp. Typically it is played with a Tracer instead of a McCree, but it is a real comp, right? And its goal is to disrupt. Well, an Orisa is well pocketed and holds the point pretty much indefinitely, right? It's used on maps like Oasis and Ilios, right? So control maps with like moderate amounts of high ground pretty much excel with that, with open spaces for ball to gain value. uh, so I've seen this comp played a few times, and pretty much what they intend to do is disrupt you, spam you down with a fire, and typically they pay a trace to finish off the kills, but I guess they're playing McCree because they expect a fire out of you guys. Happens, right? They just counterpicked. But your comp should actually probably beat their comp, honestly, because they intend to put the Farah and the Mercy in the sky, the ball in your back line, the Kree will sit with the Baptiste and the Orisa probably, right? So that means that your Farah pretty much has to identify that the Baptiste is not going to get any help from the Mercy who will be across the map with the ball and the Farah. Because you're broken into 2 units, right? And so the Farah's objective in this comp would be to kill the enemy Baptiste, right? And McCree, who are sitting together. And they're pretty free because they're not really able to help each other a lot, right? And obviously the Rissa is not a threat to you. So your Widow's job is pretty much to sit with the Diva over there and contest the pharmacy over here, right? She doesn't really care about the Kree and the Orisa and the Bat because you guys don't play shield break, right? You guys play for picks. So the enemy Orisa shield is pretty much a barrier with which your your Widow can't break, right? So she should focus solely on the pharmacy. So specifically for Anna and Orisa, right? They just want to set up on the corner of the point, just like the enemy Orisa and Bap, right? And they just sit, right? You want to put your back to the wall together, right? Sit behind your barrier, and then just chill, right? And the ball will come around, and so will the fire, right? And what you want to do is just keep yoinking the ball every time he like comes to slam, right? Hold him in place, just to like kill time and distract him, right? Liana just wants to sleep him as much as possible. The pharmacy will get pressured by your Widow and Diva, right? And Widow and Diva should never really be pressured by a ball and pharmacy because they counter the pharmacy directly, and the ball by himself isn't able to solo kill either of them, right? And that's pretty much how your comp should like address their comps. Let's watch like what actually happens.
Yeah. Afterwards, I just realized I was
Yes.
playing so passively.
I've never played against a hybrid comp before, so I understand like the confusion. But like now you know for like the future. It's because like a lot of teams don't really like playing it because it's not super effective unless you win the point first. Because the point has to unlock. The whole point is for the Orisa to stand on it indefinitely, right? But it is very hard to get the point with that comp, right? So tab right away. What's wrong with positioning? You're too close to the wall and you're not putting your shield stuck against the wall, right? So
Mhm.
if you stand right here and you use your shield, you notice how it's shaped like a cup. It's shaped like a cup for good reason because you're meant to put your back to a wall, right? So put it against the wall and then have your Ana stand there with you, and I guarantee you neither of you will get booped or pulled or environmental at all, right? That's why like Orisa is so good. Um, so Farah, you should be not there. You should be probably
And it's
somewhere
something.
on this side.
And it's something I want to mention to patient Asian that you guys should be more aggressive. But when you go aggressive, I don't want you guys to win open. Always use corner or cover. So always like be aggressive.
Yeah.
Like I don't always want you guys to play passive on like on our side. Like go aggressive, look for picks, but make sure you have cover near as well.
All right.
I want you guys
Even
to
if you
either
guys, yeah, even if you guys like went light us right now and just like poke the Baptist in the back constantly. Like right now, you're just shooting at their shield, like you're doing no value. It's like right now you're looking, okay, they have Arista Baptist. Let's move aggressively, go around them, around their back, just annoy their Baptist. That's your target.
Mhm.
And ignore the enemy Farah. Like, it's not reliable to kill her. Just ignore her. Do your job better than the enemy Farah will do their job.
Okay.
I want you guys to be here or all the way around on the opposite side, like over by your Widow and Diva. Specifically against this comp, I would say over here is better
Mhm.
because you can provide healing to your Widow as well.
Right now, the Fair has to deal with either me or the Widow, basically. He chooses wants to kill either one.
Yeah. And you're annoying Arisa, Kree, and Baptist as well. Like right now, they're shooting at Arisa, pretty much.
Yep.
And you're relieving pressure for our team too if you just shoot in their backline. Like
Gotcha.
they either have to take a damage and die or they have to go back.
Yeah.
Like right now, you're not really adding any pressure. You're not adding value right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, right now you're shooting shields. You're not really doing anything. Your Widow is she trying to duel the pharmacy line?
I think she's still getting a position on Lighthouse. I think. You see like two
Right,
arrows there.
so you
Yeah.
probably don't want to position so far on their side as Widow against their comp specifically because you can get yoinked off. So you want to stay like on your side. You don't have to be on the lighthouse. You can also take the bottom position, right? Like anywhere, because it's about being dynamic, right? Like you'd even be like in that doorway if you really needed to be, right? But just keep shifting your position around like that corner of the map to force the pharmacy into a corner as well, right? Keep them at range.
Gotcha.
So
Like I
right
see
now,
both pharmacies are playing like quite bad actually. Like
mhm.
both farmers are getting no value right now.
So Fake is dying in the back to ball, right? But if you guys had played on the corner, you definitely would have been a little bit better. Like back to the wall, because it is very hard to slam into an Orisa shield that's pressed into a wall, right? Because you can just yoink him outside the shield as he's falling, right? So he'll never get the pile drive damage off, and you just want to hold your pull for that. Unless they're McCree on the enemy team misplays, you can pull them into the wall. Or they Orisa with their fortify. Look what you open the fight with. Right? How do you lose this point with that happening? You absolutely don't. They don't even res because Mercy's first picked, right? But Farah is too passive, and so you guys can't make a kill onto the BAP and the Orisa. Like, what are you afraid of? Their Kree is dead. Play aggressive, right?
You can literally be above their heads right now, super close. They can't do anything. They have nobody to shoot you. And the more distance you are, the more like warning they have and can dodge your shot. So you're gonna be as close as possible, but not too close that you can be punched by a Kree. But Kree is dead right now. Just be above their head, just punish. You have a pocket as well, you have pocket mercy. Just like float above Orisa's head right now and just kill her.
Like, I don't even care if you were standing on the ground beside her. Like, she really, actually, legitimately cannot kill you, right? Like,
Yeah.
So right here, you guys have a problem because no damage is actually going out at this point. Like, the Widow has nothing left that she can actually pick. You guys are 3 up, and you actually lose this point. I think the BAP kills the Widow.
Envy, I think, yeah. Ball and Bab.
Should have been heals on the Widow instead of the Diva. So Adam misplayed there, right? Should have healed. Farah is finally playing aggressive now, so look, the Orisa died right away. Couldn't stop the
And
res.
yeah,
And Tab is like really, really far forward because he got pushed out of position because he wasn't playing stunk to a wall. Diva is just hovering in the middle space doing nothing because she's lost without our Widow. Like, you guys just fell apart even though you had like literally like 3 or 4
3
picks.
picks, yeah. He had Mercy creep pick, so your fire should be enabled. And then, like right after that, you had fire pick as well. So it was 6v3, and you guys didn't do damage, so they just stayed on point, regrouped, and won the fight.
So Tab, when you've gotten those picks, right? You can like walk across the point. Tell your Diva stand on the point, right? And then walk on their Orisa. Like, take the walk on the inside and come to this corner, right? And fight her corner to corner. Is then you force her to back and give space, right? Like when you're up, you can take space. But when you're down or equal, you stay.
I would say, as a fire right now, you're looking for Kree, punish Kree, kill Kree, and then you have like nobody to kill you. You can just go super aggressive then.
So, Asian. You made the pick on the path, and then you decide to barrage in their face. You can't do that, right? And you don't need to barrage in their face because they don't even have a counter to you anymore, right? Like, they switched the Kree for a Genji, right? So there is absolutely no need for you to barrage. There's no like need for you to do anything but to float above their heads and shoot them, right? So you
I
have to
think
identify
this
when you
way,
have a counter.
once you barrage, you're gonna stand still, and fire is just gonna kill you, which is what happened here. It's like when you're playing fire against fire, whoever barrage first loses, pretty much. And it sounds kind of weird, maybe, but when you're barraging, you're standing still, and the fire can just direct shot you.
Just in general, like every barrage is a kill me button, right? So you only do it if you can secure 3 kills. And this isn't even a comp you'd want to barrage in the first place. And not a map you'd want to barrage on either, because you can't surprise them. And in the backline, Fake died to the ball and his mines, and the ball, just in general, kind of murdered Fake. So maybe Tab, play Snugger to the wall, same thing before, and Fake, consider playing in the shield with him. You don't have to play Ana. You can play
Anything,
a Brig.
Baptist, Mara, break even.
Yeah, so like if they have a ball, I'd probably play a Brig or a Bap. Because then I can crouch and then jump when he slams, so I never take the damage, right? And I can heal myself. And Lamp, the Orisa, if she's like in danger, right?
Okay, what if we
So
have
it's it.
the Ryan Genji?
We wouldn't ever play Ryan Genji here, but if we're actually playing Genji here, like playing Arista Genji, then you can
Sorry,
stay
I meant
on, I guess.
Ryan or Genji, because those are the two big nano targets for the most part.
I
When you
mean,
play
we're
Genji, you
like,
play an Ana.
yeah, our tactical strats here is to play Arista, Widow, Farah. So honestly, it's up to you to pick whatever you feel most comfy, just so you can survive. If it's Bab, then it's Bab. If it's Mara, it's Mara. I would say Bab or Mara because it gives you an oh shit button, you know? Like you have Fade as Mara, you have like your lamp as Bab. Like,
Oh, for
yeah.
sure. Yeah, I understand. I like those heroes better, but yeah.
But yeah, I don't think there's much more to say about this map because at this point you're losing because you aren't able to position properly and there's nothing more to it. Like, this was definitely winnable if you played a little bit better because this team wasn't like wasn't all that great, you know? They didn't beat you because they're mechanically better. They just positioned better. Like honestly, like
Skya Industries.
you were
It's weird to
kicking their
say,
ass
but
sometimes.
yeah. In a scrim, I think you guys would have beaten them. I don't know.
The nerves.
Yeah. I think it's a mix of nerves and like them playing hybrid comp that kind of surprised you guys. But also, you guys play Fire a bit too passive too. Like, in that comping well, like Fire is our main damage dealer. And if she's playing passive and getting no value, then we don't really have damage anymore.
Also, the Orisa on positioning was a little bit wonky because you
Mm.
guys were really struggling with the ball, but like literally that is like the one pair in the game where I'm kind of like, you probably don't struggle with ball, right? Like Orisa is the tank that people switch to when ball is being annoying, right?
You have two
It's basically
CCs, ball and
unmovable.
sleep.
So you want to force them off the high ground first, right? Let's watch what happens.
Yeah, I think we called take center box first. So we get better sight lines.
This is good. Don't use your bubble. You use your bubble. Okay, so the reason you don't want to use your bubble is because you can still jump after this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you can fall down right before your jump cooldown's about to come up again, right? And then dive the Ana in the back. But without the bubble, you're liable to
Yeah,
get
I
slapped.
talked to Fake about this too.
Alright, so their monkey is back there. Your pharmacies are dueling each other or something? No? Okay, Farah's good. Going to kill the monkey. Fine. So now you're down your Ana and your Genji. You play a little bit slow.
I think Arista Genji are David Max right now.
So right here, I want to see you guys on top of their Genji or their Ana, right? If it's Ana, it's good.
I think Pichu, you were a bit too distracted. Like you didn't have like much value. Like you saw the Ana and you kept showing the Farm Mercy or like their Genji or something, just kill their Ana. Help your monkey kill the Ana.
Alright. I just
Then
went for
from
the
there
Genji
it's just
because I
clean up.
saw he just used deflex.
Yeah.
I'm like, get the free kill on them, and I don't want him like farming spiders. That's why.
I mean,
You
it's
get the
fine,
free
just
kill.
kill their Ana. Help your
I'll
monkey kill
watch
the
it
Ana
again.
and everything is.
Too late. Alright, so don't go through the small room to go the long way around to engage on the Ana because that was suboptimal pathing as Genji. He got res, right? He died early on too. Pharah, was it?
He died, don't know by who.
I just wanted to watch the Genji perspective real fast because something looked wrong with it. So Genji comes up to top middle, which is fine. He didn't dash up, did he? Just climbed? Because he had to have climbed. Good.
Yep.
So dashing, that was fine. He dies from the monkey, maybe? Oh, just fire
Yeah,
slash
we were
damage.
following.
Happens because Fake is dead.
Yeah.
I think right now, Pichu, you look for the Ana.
Yeah, we spotted on a top right and
Yeah,
then
Or,
yeah, you
called
yeah.
just
for it
push up. It got really close there.
because it kind of got chaotic. So I just went looking for the Ana.
So
Like, I
I
want
think
Pichu to play next to the building as well. Like, next to the building where Ana is. To shoot
Yeah.
a bomber.
Yeah.
against the glass,
Yep.
Genji should have gone wide and climbed, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Because he got there too
Like,
late.
I think I
good
got there
job,
far
Pichu.
because I saw her diva just died immediately, so I was like, I think it was Farah because she's like has no more contesting because the diva can't contest her anymore.
I think I like what you did at first when the monkey dove our Ana. I think you killed her. Killed the
Yeah.
monkey, I think.
Yeah, because I saw
And then from
jump.
there on, you think you check your team comp. Like, who can I kill now? Who's the stationary target?
Yeah.
It's Ana. I know where Ana is, so we get close to her, punish her.
Yeah.
Honestly, you can actually punish her on your own in a sense too, because like you can just two-shot her.
Mhm.
But you need to be under Ana like immediately.
Yeah.
So Genji arrives too late to help secure the kill. Right now he should be on Mercy as his kid. Faked out of position. He doesn't need to be the one capping. He's too dangerous against 2 tanks. Yeah, the monkey should probably die first because he doesn't have jump, and then Diva.
That's what I went
Yeah.
for.
So going into next point, you don't have nano, but you do have blade, so you probably just want to damage boost the blade early. Because in the first fight after you win first point on 2 CP, who has ult advantage typically?
Attackers.
Attackers, right? So the first fight after is always really important because we want to ult first, right? Because we have ult advantage. Look at their ults, right? Like this holds true for us too, right? That we have ult advantage over them. So we want to go in and use what ults we have as fast as possible so that we may build the rest of our ults before they do, right? So going into next point, I'd probably call to damage boost the blade because there's no way to farm nano fast, right?
Commence attack on objective B.
And then I'd probably engage first as dive and then go for the blade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we told Far to get in position, then tanks were gonna jump in, and then we're gonna blade.
Yeah.
So you don't want to put your fire in position because you want the Mercy to damage boost the blade, right?
Right.
So Farah then can go by herself, but she would have to go later, right? That's how
Yeah.
this would work. Right, so you're jumping, you go in. Farah, don't die to the other Farah. Big misplay right there. You should never die to the other Farah.
Yeah.
Where's Diva?
On the Ana.
Our diva
We
is
called the
in-
Ana on the top high ground behind, but she rotated where our diva is.
How did she out-rotate you so much, Tab?
I didn't see the Ana rotate as soon as I pressed shift. I thought she was. I had seen her on that center high ground, and I saw her just start to run right as I jumped, and she out rotated me.
Right, so what do you want to do every time? Land on one side of her to stop her rotate on each side, right? So this is a misplay by both of you guys, both tanks, right? Because she is not an Ashe or a Widow. She cannot out-rotate you like this. The dive should never end up looking like that, right? It should
Right.
end up with you guys on either side of her.
Yeah, we
Right?
like scouted her out, but then we like paused for a second and lost sight of her. So
So yeah, that's what I'm wrong with this dive. So make sure you're landing on opposite sides for her, because stationary targets without movement abilities either side of her guarantee the kill, right?
right.
So that didn't go well for you. Tab, did you drop off the high ground? Don't drop off the high ground. Stay up there and then get ready to jump out. Because as soon as you drop, what happens? You are liable to take much more damage than if you had stayed up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is also a very policy risk by Adam. They shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have rest right here in their face.
If anything, if Tab still had his own bubble, I would have said, Tab, drop on top of Adam and drop the bubble around them and body block with Primal, right? Like, that would be the biggest brain way to get res here. Because Doge is otherwise occupied. This blade still hasn't gone off. So you guys wanted to engage with the blade right here, right? And it didn't really happen.
Ana
Their
survived too.
Mercy just res the Ana. She's resed her.
Yeah. I
You guys
see.
didn't guard the res. So this is problematic as well. If you bomb Primal, no res ever happens, right? This blade went off way later because you guys were holding for Nano Blade, and I'm telling you right now, you don't have to hold Nano and Blade together, right? Like, you have to be more flexible with your fight planning, because if you are not flexible, then you will lose, right? Because, like, at this point, the fight is not going well for you guys. They've built ultimates. Look at their ultimate bank, right? They have 6 ultimates, right? But when you walked in, they had none, and you had Blade, and you had Barrage, like, 6% off, right? And you were 60% to Nano, and you decided to wait on your Blade and try to posture for a Barrage, right? Like, be more flexible. If you don't have it, you don't have it. Use what you do have, right? And then roll them like that. That's how 2CP works, right? And in general, that's what you should be doing. Banking ultimates like this actually cost you because they come out with 6 ultimates because you guys prolong the fight for so long and no comp feeds quite like dive, and they use your ultimates to recontest you. See, they have Valkyrie, Primal, and Blade going. But when you went into that fight, could you have wiped them and like capped the full point with the ults you did have? Almost certainly, right? Oh look, it's Nano and Barrage as well. They came out with 5 ultimates so far. The only thing they haven't used yet is Zeba Bomb, right? Oh, there that is too. So, yeah, 6 ultimates that came out to recontest you guys with. And completely avoidable. So, good call to switch to Brawl. The switch onto Reaper is also something I agree with.
I think we switched back because I think I remember Pichu going Reaper because they were dive cell, and then when he ran out of spawn, they switched to Brawl. So yeah,
That's fine. So,
I think
and
here, guys, like here, you should wait for your Mei. Like you guys are kind of engaging, and your Mei is
I
just
called
coming
it
out of
out
spawn.
like twice. I told them
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was swapping.
I know we call it out, and our team was just pushing up.
Yeah.
It should never happen.
also, half our team is down a corridor over there. Okay, so right here would have been a good opportunity to throw a nade at the sleeping Ryan, right? You guys are looking for a wall at this point. Diva going up there is fine. Just make sure you don't get pooped down. Contest the Ana a little bit more. Doge doing a good job in the back
This
line
is
there. Because you know the whole time while Doge was on the Ana, the Ryan died, right? Because he didn't have any healing, and so did I think the Mei.
I think you
Or-
guys could have gone more aggressive too,
Tracer.
because like the Tracer and Ren died, and like look where our whole team is. Like only Tab is like in their face with, I think Lucia,
Mhm.
and they're like Mei and I don't
Well,
know who
the
else it is
Mercy
on
went
left
for the
side.
res there on the Rhine.
Yeah, like it shouldn't actually happen because once you have 2 picks, Ren and Traces, then their team is naturally gonna hug the other, like one of the sides. In this case, they're hugging on the screen the right side, like me and someone else is there.
Mm-hmm.
Like the rest shouldn't happen because our team should actually be there in the space where Red Heart died, because we're punishing the other people that survived. Our
Yeah,
queen
I think
shouldn't be so
I
far
think it's
back.
the ante
Our
that
main
I
should actually
played
push
slow.
up. Like Tab here, like Tab, Envy, Pichu, Doge. You guys should just fly towards me and the other person is there on the left side, punish them. And no way Mercy's gonna go for the res because you're just standing on the Rand's body too whilst you're pushing the other people.
Mhm.
But because you
Not
got
in
two
that
kills, you
position.
guys played so passive. You guys played so passive, she went for the res. And nobody could punish her. Like you guys won the
Mm.
space and then gave it back, in a sense.
I mean, I think we still could have punished her because, like, she went for the res and we have 4 people looking at her.
She's in Valkyrie. She's very hard to kill. You have
Yeah.
to be
Like, I
evasive
got 2
with the
swings on her,
flashbang.
too.
Like
So
everyone should be closer because we're trying to punish me anyway because that's the people that survived. And if she goes in the res in the middle of our team, you
Mm-hmm.
can swing, we can stun. Like Tab, like you're the person who's actually in a good position. Rest of team is way too passive in a specific mid fight situation. Like that's all I have to say about this fight. Really, you got 2 picks and you were really passive, you didn't punish other people, and they rest and then turn the fight around, I think.
So Adam's a little bit out of position too, right here on top of Diva. But you definitely could have booped her, stunned her, anything, right? Don't charge right there. Stack harder, guys. Shield immediately after your charge if you messed up, right? Picture mess up by shielding. But this fight was over by the time she got a res. It wasn't just a charge or anything. You guys opened the fight with 2 picks and you lost again, right? So on your next fight, you decide to go main, your free's going up. He should ask for help from the diva so that he can high noon for free up top. And nano too early.
Yep.
Adam dying in the back to Tracer. Probably shouldn't happen. Get off the ground. You're not gonna get one clipped if you're off the ground. Okay, got stuck.
Yep, by Tracer Bomb.
So when they have a hit scan or someone on the high ground, that's Doge's job, right? In this case, who is going to get stuck in our comp? Probably Fake, right? So Doge should have probably been close enough to Fake to eat that because that shouldn't have happened, right? Because there's not like a McCree or something that he's chasing down or like an enemy widow. There's actually just a Tracer, so devote more to peeling in this case, right? Pichu, you're too far away from your Ryan. That was a good attempt to high noon. Just definitely could have asked for more resources from the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there was definitely some positional issues for that fight. Can it not? So going into next fight, you have 4 ultis, right? You should sweep this fight. So this is a good aggressive beat drop because their Ryan is dying and you're in his face. So at this point you just need to amp more onto him and you're good to go. What's not good?
There's squishies on the left.
You got 1.
2. Oh, Mercy got out. Okay.
Right. And you should never just turn and shatter a Moira anyway because it's like if you were aiming to swallow shatter somebody, Moira is probably the worst person that you can do it to. Right? Followed by maybe Tracer or
Yeah.
me.
I think I was just trying to get both their healers, but yeah.
And you definitely could have just kept pressuring the Ryan. Look at his health bar, right?
Right.
It would have been huge.
Honestly, it's unreliable to try and shatter Mercy Mora. Like, they can fade away and fly. I would just pressure that hard he's in a blizzard, and it's guaranteed win. And then you can always shatter when it comes to recontest, I guess.
So you use beat drop, and you guys weren't able to secure a kill because you didn't pressure the Rhine. And then you use shatter, but you might not be able to secure that kill. And even if you do, they have a mercy, and their spawn's right there. So a solo shatter's not enough value, right? And then you use blizzard, so hopefully you get a kill right here. Adam dying to Diva Bomb again. You can't die to Diva Bomb, right? Wall ride out, hug cover, all kinds of things to do. Doge just flew up to the high ground, but I don't think there's actually anyone on their team who plays high ground, so I don't know why he's up here, right? Be on the point, securing a kill on somebody, right? I think he just flew up there because of the Diva Bomb, though. But now he needs to get down and kill somebody. I probably would have held Bomb for longer. You definitely still had health. You were fine, right? So definitely held it for when they come to recontest later. Because right now you guys have used effectively 4 ultimates, big ones, right? Bomb, Shatter, Mail T, and Beat Drop, and you haven't even secured like a tick, essentially. And you have nothing for when they recontest. So kind of like 4 ult economy. That was a really good wall. Don't charge, because you put yourself out of position, right? Because what happens if you charge past the Rhine and he shields up? Effectively, you have no healing, right? You die. That's it. Like, no one can help you anymore. So, charging is very bad. Even, like, in, like, overtime contests and stuff, only if you're the defending Rhine, you're trying to charge out onto the point to secure a kill, right? But beyond that, like, never ever charge on a point like this. Because, like, there's really no benefit. So, you, are out of position on the left-hand side now, because your team isn't really able to help you over there, and you LOS yourself from Fake pretty hard, right? Because look where Fake is, and look where you went, right? He was over here, because you were over here, and then you were over here, so he has to rotate that way. Like, you're probably gonna die during this time, right? Like, it's not very good.
I think he got bailed out by Nana too.
Yeah, probably. So, definitely a positional error there. Diva just got demec'd. Honestly, if Tab hadn't like mispositioned, I think Doge would have gotten healed, and then he wouldn't have gotten demec'd. Right? Or the nano could have been used on Doge instead to keep him alive. But yeah, you guys see how you use a lot of ultimates and you pretty much have nothing to show for it, right? Because you're not using them like in the most effective ways possible. You're only getting like 1 or 2 kills with them in like 4 ultimates. I think it took you 4 ultimates to get the kill on the Rhine and the Mei. And the only one that actually got the kills with it was the Blizzard. But it should never look like that, because if you have 4 ultimates, if you get 2 kills per ultimate, I guarantee you cap this point, right? Alright, so going into next half. On the defending side, I think you guys die almost right away, right?
I think we're gonna pick Asfara and now they rest or something. I remember this.
So right away you see Monkey. You get a pick on the Ana, and I get surprised because it's behind the truck. That's fine. It was a good pick. Just want to keep spamming them out as far. So, Pichu. Why do you have to be over here? Like, I know you get to kill on the Mercy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you are up here, like we talked about, could you kill the Mercy the same way while behind cover?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason why I tell you to play here every time is because no matter which way they rotate, you can hit them in rotation, right? And you always have an ankle on the choke where an Ana would play, right?
Yep.
So position better, because they're going to out-rotate you when you play like that. You never want to be in range of the D.Va. You want to make her put herself in a bad position to kill you. And now you're too far back. And you're dueling the enemy Pharah.
Yeah.
So taking the high ground back from them, totally fine, because you're not diving anything anyway. Don't get pushed down. If you get pushed down, the bubble nets, and you're fine. I guess you live, so that's okay. You guys are kind of clustered right now.
I called the Ana main here and count it down. We were kind of brawling at that point.
So Pichu, you're out of position, so Adam dies because he's standing on the ground. Okay, first of all, Adam, don't stand on the ground. You shouldn't die with stuff like that. Also, Pichu, you're super out of position. So don't put your Mercy in a position like that, right?
Alright.
Like this is what I mean, like babe, you guys are playing too passive Asfara. Like just play the same corner. Like just be aggressive, keep poking, keep poking, keep poking. Like now, like right now you have no value. It's like look at their Ana, for example. Like yeah, I mean just keep poking, just keep playing the same corner. Like
So
the only person can bully you is Diva pretty much, and you just like she can't really kill you, honestly.
if you're playing against this wall, this is what I mean by putting a D.Va very out of position to kill you. So if you're hugging this wall, right, like this, and the D.Va comes around the corner and decides to fly up to kill you, what is your team doing? 1, healing you, and 2, DPSing this D.Va, right? She has to put herself in a very, very bad position to try and do any kind of meaningful damage to you, right? Even Widowmaker, for example, has to put herself like in the open to push you or kill you, right? So like that's why you want to hug walls that are to your advantage.
Yeah.
So here, Fake, you need to rotate somewhere safer and heal yourself as soon as you can. And maybe heal Pichu as well. Honestly, it's kind of hard though, because like, you know, shit's happening.
Yeah, I was working on it. I think I actually went the right way this time. I just
Don't
forgot
fall
to heal myself.
I actually think that maybe on the defending side, we should get Fake to play back. If he's gonna like
Gives
trigger
our
the high
team
ground
like
like
an
that.
shit back
I
and
remember what
yeah,
happened there. I was
shit.
going for the Mega and Pichu stole it right in front of me. That's what I remember this.
Yeah.
I said,
can
heal
choose your name
me.
for
He
yourself.
didn't heal me in 2 seconds. I was like, okay, I'm just
I
Like,
mean,
was
that's
Pichu
with
got
you.
all the kills on that
I
defense. I'm
was
just
healing
saying.
the diva. And then he stole my mega health pick.
So
I
right
think
here,
Pichu was the only one diving with me on that point.
so we talked about Pichu and his positioning already. He shouldn't be sitting over there.
Yeah, I remember this. Yeah.
Because, yeah, you see it now too, right? Like, it looks kind of bad when you look
Sure.
at it.
I shouldn't be playing with Ryan or just play with the Ana basically. When they're just
And
gonna jump our Ana, yeah, basically.
Mercy, if you're in this position, just go pocket your Kree, dude. Why are you pocketing your Ana? What's she gonna do from this corner? Damage boost her heals. Obviously. I'm actually really mad about this Mercy beam right now. Like, I don't
Yeah, me too.
understand.
Like, she's getting no value, Mercy. Like honestly, like where random diva is playing, like Anna can heal him on her own pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And Mercy does damage beam McCree, and if like shit hits the fan, you can always fight the red heart, heal him, fly back to Kree, damage boost.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. I actually didn't see this happen during the match, but looking
I
back
didn't
on
see
it,
it
I'm like,
either.
what?
Yeah. I think we're like in a Skype call to focus on Peach. Like Peach, like why are you here? And I wouldn't see Adam.
Right, so Envy has to be shooting the tanks probably right here. I wouldn't focus too much on the Pharaoh. I'd probably be pressuring the tanks, because every time the tanks are low, they can't dive, right? And the Pharaoh, you know, she's so far away, she's probably not going to make a kill anyway, right? She just want to stop the push from happening before it happens. Make a pick if you can, but I don't think you can solo kill the Pharaoh. Maybe if you had Mercy damage boost, but again, shooting the monkey in the head's probably better for you, as you're trying to get your ultimate up. Pichu, don't W across free skate free space like that. It looks pretty bad when you look at it like this, right?
Yeah, I see it now. Yeah. I do that on ladder.
Okay.
That's why I'm in the guy gameplay. Can't get away with that.
Okay.
Wait.
You could have been hugging this corner the whole time.
What?
And then peek like this. You just died to Diva Bomb.
Oh, yeah. I was
Where'd the
running.
bomb
I think
land,
I was too
actually?
far. I was up by the Reinhardt, and so I was running for that cover when Diva Bomb came down. I just started too far away.
Yeah, so.
Actually, I remember this too. So I went towards the point towards our Ryan because the Pharah was coming over and shooting at me, and then the Diva Bomb dropped, and I was too far away from the corner I needed.
So just don't die to Diva Bomb next time.
What am I supposed to do about the Pharah though if she's over me like that? Should
You
I
can
run
get
all
this-
the way?
You have
should I
Doge
run-
standing beside you. Yell at Doge.
Should I
Yeah,
run all the
Doge-
way around behind? Well, let's assume Doge is busy because there's
Doge is not
he's
busy.
there.
I mean, it's his job
Just
to contest
die,
Pharah.
and then Doge gets
Stop.
roasted in VOD review.
Like his job is literally to contest Pharah. Like
Yeah.
Doge can't do anything else. Like contest Pharah pretty much. Just annoy Pharah so Pharah can't shoot you.
The far's not even being pocketed right now.
Yeah, so obviously you guys have a problem. Envy, please shoot the baby Diva so that she dies. Shoot the Ana, she's standing in the middle of the play. Good job. Fan the tanks, if you can. Yeah, DPS the Genji. Or the Mercy. Tab spin. So on this point, you spin around the center, and if they start backing up, you spin around the post. I don't think there looks like any real target calling is happening here at all either.
Yeah. It's very chaotic.
Pichu, find the main tank and shoot him in the face, or find the diva and shoot her in the face.
Target calling is happening if you want to check
I
VODs.
think I was trying to do that.
Because we called that Mercy up in the top right.
Maybe target calling is happening, but it doesn't seem like people are on the same page because it's a very chaotic fight.
Yeah, no one was on the same page there for sure. So now they are Brawl, but with a Genji. right? So brawl with the Genji Mercy and no speed means that in an all-out fight, you kick their ass, right? So what you want to do is you want to sit back here and wait until they come towards the point while they're run and like literally just speed onto them. Like, you will murder their whole team because
I'm not-
Genji doesn't do damage.
We don't
Something
have
that
a May.
I remember you guys said target calling. I forgot to mention this.
Okay,
I
no
don't
May,
remember what
still stay
map-
here and then run on them.
Mhm.
Yes, fake. Sorry.
I don't remember which maps it was on, but there were a couple of I don't think it was Volskaya. I think it was one of the control point ones, where Tab would call a target, and then somebody else would call a different target, like right afterwards.
I mean, if you listen to this first point, I'm calling targets and I'm counting down, and only Pichu's diving with me.
That was just something I noticed. I don't quite remember which maps it was on specifically, but that was something I was noticing. Is there was somebody else calling different targets than Tab was?
It's okay.
I think if you look at our comp and their team comp, like we have so much shield pressure, and like if we're just outpowering them, like we can't lose. Actually, I don't know what happens.
We actually don't lose this one. Pichu
Yeah.
teleports down and kills both their healers with a death blossom.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Next fight. I think we lose to Nanoblade or something, maybe. I don't know. Actually, can't be Nanoblade because the Ana's 5% ulti and she dies first. So something else.
Hmm.
But yeah, don't float in free space. You want to brawl, right? So wait for them to come into the point where they can't escape from you because they can't speed out, right? Like wait for them to hard engage, and then run them over. Don't charge like that. You put yourself massively out of position. You weren't
Yeah,
even
but
being
Punish
threatened, right? Like they don't have burst damage. You actually could have just sat there with your shield up and waited, you know, and you
Mhm.
would have been fine. But you charged into them and got antied. Pichu bails you out with his mail, though, in the sense that like he bails out the fight. Their diva misplayed by bombing actually because then she wasn't in neck to eat. So I don't know if you did that intentionally, but it was good, Pichu.
Yeah.
But if she had neck, that was bad.
I'm not the May.
Mech. What?
Oh.
Like if she
The
had.
Diva Bomb couldn't eat your Reaper ult.
Oh yeah. Well, I saw her Diva Bomb, that's why. And I saw their supports free in the backline, so I was like, I need to do something here to win this now.
So Tab, remember, hug left wall at all times. So this is good. Stay here. Don't stop going back and forth. Why do you keep going back and forth? Be like right and then left and then right. Like
Yeah,
you
I'm kind
can't
of sad.
decide where to stand.
I killed their Genji here too.
What?
They didn't have blade, but then they res them for free. I was like sad about that.
Okay, so on the defending side, you don't want to aggressive beat trap if you're playing against a nano blade, right? So Adam, don't do this. And also, Tab is like 50 feet away from the enemy round. You can't do this either, right? So bad beat trap,
Oh my god.
bad positioning by Tab, no charging. It's very scary.
Yeah.
Just hug the left wall, charge your shield, chill. Make them come to you. And now the nanoblade happens, Adam, Blake. That beat drop cost you. I think you guys probably might have still lost regardless because they had more ultimates, but regardless, you guys misplayed pretty heavily. So Envy, decent high noon right there, and Doge was there to eat for you. Actually, no, Doge to the Diva Bomb. Yeah, it went too high. I remember
Yeah.
talking to him about this. Yeah, just drop it on your Ana and your Lucio, dude. And Lucio, try to amp away from the Genji. Speed, amp speed, away.
And when you have another blade on aggressive beats, because you need to beat to counter another blade.
We only aggressive beat in situations where you're not countering anything.
Still on the map.
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah,
Dorado.
Dorado.
That's right. Dorado.
Ready for battle. Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
So Your Hanzo's in a good position now. If he isn't getting enough value, you can go to the mid window or the left-hand side because it flushes out people from the left, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You guys on the ground want to play for a wall if you can.
Yeah.
Let's look at it from over. I'm trying to find a good angle. This. So yeah, Hanzo going left side. We'll flush the Mercy out, hopefully. We'll make a pick here. Good wall. The Ryan's asleep. Do we punish? No, because there's a wall up too. So they give up choke. When they give up choke like that, Hanzo needs to move up. Because the moment like we break choke, this is free for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So moving up a little bit more aggressively would probably be to the benefit of him by a lot, because right now he's faced into nothing, right? Nothing is even going to come close to him. So he has to realize that they have to push up. D.Va can actually go around the corner first to scout if anyone's close, right? If they don't have Sonic or they use Sonic already.
I don't know about Hanzo.
So once you've broken that choke, step through, push in front of the cart, right? But yeah, Hanzo on the right hand side playing too passive.
Yeah. I think we just gave away choke again, and they gave
Yeah.
it away to us again, and we take it back.
Pretty much. That's why I kept going.
It's like a really terrible platinum dance.
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys got the Mercy pick.
So big shatter by Tab. Every time you're in his face, you beat him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you
What did you
charged.
do? You charged. You have 2 projectiles on your team. There's no fucking way either one of them are hitting anything if you throw them all up in the air, right?
Trying to like freeze them across the map.
Good
Just to
heals
get
by
some
Fake
damage.
right there to heal through the co. So luckily the D.Va's demag. Team push really aggressively here. Adam, good aggression this time. Get off heals, please. Be on speed. Good.
Hey, this man will just try and get the supports best.
Right away, you want to send your D.Va and your Hanzo to take high ground. Right off the bat.
What?
He's spy checking for a Sombra.
So when you own high ground, what can you do?
Push up.
Push up even more, right?
Yeah.
Tab can go all the way up to this corner pretty safely, right? As long
Yep.
as he has his Lucio with him. Right?
Because the has to think twice before pushing up to us. Because
Mhm.
Hanzo can just headshot one of his backlines for free.
Good amp. Good back. The moment you saw the wall, it was good. Good counter. Get the D.Va on the run.
Yep.
This baby D.Va stays alive on fire for like
Yeah.
ever.
I think we're calling his Kev the Hush his baby diva.
I was like,
Oh yeah.
Fake, please, just turn and kill him.
I was wondering about that too. I was like, why is it fake just killing it to one person?
Who is that supposed to shoot?
Baby diva in your
D.Va
face.
on cart.
Payload.
Literally shooting bullets standing right beside you.
I was
he
trying-
thought he was one of our teammates. Thought it was
It's
our
not
dude.
my job to kill people. I was just so
What do you mean?
I mean, at that time,
He's
he
just the
counts
mobile
as a
health
baby
pack,
diva.
boys.
You have nade, you can just shoot punch, pretty much.
So if you win this fight, I actually believe that Hanzo should not play here. He should take the back windows closer to the right hand side even, because it's space of the enemy, right? So you want them to
Yeah.
fight you for it, right? Because if you
Yep.
come out here, or like even here, he would have been able to see the far coming, right? But because he's playing so far back, trying to make a pick through this small angle, I mean, he's probably not going to anyway, but like, this is still yours, right? You want what's theirs. Every single time it's greed, right? You have to be as greedy as possible. I want that space, right? Because like Tab won this space, right? So you have to take it because technically, because he's standing there, this is yours too, right?
Yeah.
It actually makes it easier to get heals because look where Fake is, right? And
So
because if a widow had come out here, Fake would have died, right?
Yeah. So here's my question on that. Since they swap our Mercy, would it just better for me just to swap Kree here? Or
Yeah.
stay on the Mace still? Yeah. Okay, so
Should have gone Kree.
I wasn't sure about that.
I honestly would have played Kree Widow because we talk about how on second point you can play the Widow.
Yeah.
But definitely, like, even with the Hanzo Diva, if you guys had been playing here, you would have like annihilated that pharmacy coming out of that doorway, right? It's such a
Yeah.
small space.
I think if you're Hanzo right now, you're trying to get rid of your ults as quick as possible and switch to Kree. Or switch to mid Kree.
I would even throw the wall like ult away if I happen to die right here, like
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
So what's the problem with the way they're playing right now? I would say is that Fake has to literally look away from the Reinhardt to heal, right? So like this is
super
really
spread.
detrimental. So like if Fake had been able to stay like back here and see Tab and then Doge and be up there, it would have been a lot better. So you have to mind your sight lines better. Off tank and hit scan. Stop charging your shatters. That Moira probably could have died. Good job,
And
Fake,
those
going
should be on the
inside.
Pharah.
And just swipe to that. Yep. So that was incredibly winnable for you guys, right?
I think this is not a matter of switching to lane again.
Yeah, so Envy should be on Kree. So from now on, we're going to leave the comp switching to one of the other players on the team so that like Doge can focus more just on shot calling, correct?
Yeah.
Because like
I
if
mean-
everyone has a responsibility,
Yeah.
it'll be easier.
I can do it, but I'm not in on all the maps, so yeah, that's the reason why.
Yeah.
I think people do need to get dragged in. Like, I think Envy's thinking, I have my ult, I have to stay.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Pharah is just killing the whole team and nobody is counting Pharah except Diva.
Yeah.
It's like, don't be too televisioned on having your ults.
So
Either
here's
throw
my
it
question.
away. Like, if
Yeah.
you see the Pharah, you just like use ult right away, or if you die, just be like, okay, I have to go Kree. Forget
Yeah.
about my ults, I have to go Kree now.
So even with the mail there, because I had the mail. That's the reason I didn't swap at all. I wasn't sure about
Keep
that.
the mail, probably.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
was
lot better than
debating.
the Hanzo ult.
That's what I was thinking too. This is true.
Okay, so let's look where the Hanzo died. Because I'm pretty sure there's a problem positionally with what happened. Okay, so
That is annoying.
this is bad because he could just as easily go here and have a lot more cover, right?
Yeah.
So like when he's up here, it's a lot harder for a pharmacy to kill him, right? Because he's in the windows and he can play as far back as he wants, right? And so like if you had to play the Hanzo through, I just would not have gone so wide personally.
I think he already died once by Pharah playing here in the open.
Yeah, and he went there again, right?
Yeah. Like, honestly, like, okay, so I think there's two ways. Either you can approach the scenario that you just said, Alexis, play high ground inside. Honestly, I wouldn't have mind if it just like went inside left on the ground, just ult in there, like ult behind, and it went for like ult that way.
I
And
would have just
control
thrown
the
my
rounds.
dragon away and switched.
Yeah. Like the first fight that you see Farah, I would just like get off the high grounds, get like, or either go high grounds with cover, or like go low grounds behind him, throw ults. Like either you win a fight with the Hansa ult, or you lose fight and then you switch immediately. Because now I think it's 3 fights where we have Hansa and Dokana for Farah except the Diva. Is it the same fight, or is this the fight after?
The fight after. 3 fights to use dragon or something.
Yeah.
Good eat. Luckily they let you cap, because honestly they probably
I remember that. They
could've
died.
held right there. Because look, they actually wiped you. Like, they really could have held. They just seen on, so it was just luck.
Yeah. So is there any value in me all staying May now? In this comp against their comp right now?
Probably not, honestly. I
That's what I was
would
thinking too.
probably play something different. Like, I would not be opposed to playing a free Hanzo on this point. Just someone needed to go create, and you're the projectile, so you'd probably end up on Hanzo if you could, but
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah.
you just want, like, massive amounts of damage to at least somewhat match theirs, right?
Yeah, because I felt like that man, like that third point, I felt like I did nothing, so I was just like confused. I was just like, so what am like? I'm just trying to
Only
finish
person
off
you
the
can
fight, but
wall or like place her
yeah,
this
just the
Reinhardt
run.
pretty
See, like
much.
right there, that's the only thing I could do. I could just wall the run. I was just like, okay, or has fade. The Mercy is fly. The Hanzo has high ground for free. Barret can fly away. It's like the Diva has boosters, and I'm just like, okay.
Tab.
Yeah, I didn't know.
You can't do this. You need to stop charging. Look at this.
Oh god. Wait, did you really do that? Oh no.
Like, okay, so as a support player myself, if the enemy Reinhardt charges in, like either there's two options. Either as support you can punish Reinhardt, or your Reinhardt can punish the enemy Reinhardt.
Yeah.
Every time you miss a charge, every time you charge in, you leave yourself to getting punished like by at least two people.
You can't charge into a team with a
Mm.
Mei,
Mhm.
or a Hanzo, or, like,
Mhm.
6 people in general. You just can't charge. Like, this fight was effectively lost just because you hit left shift, right? So only hit charge if you've got someone walled and you can, like, reliably charge them, meaning probably not a squishy, like only an enemy Ryan or Zarya can you charge them against a wall, right? Sigma as well, like a tank. Or alternatively, charge when you're counter charging, right? And only as he's about to hit you, so don't miss the counter pin, right? Other than that, like I would say, do the equivalent of unbinding your charge, but then just don't do it.
Yeah.
Because like that's a problem. Like you charge your shatters too much, so you can't like follow up on them. And like they're really good shatters, right? But like you don't get value out of them. So So this is an example of what I was talking about during the match, where like the fight is seriously over, and Doge is like staggering himself essentially as Baby Diva, and Envy like takes too long to back out, right? Like it's not
I
very
think
good.
everyone, yeah, even Anna died like quickly too.
Yeah, everyone should just go to cart and die, or get out like together. So 1 minute left. You guys are like scrambling to touch cart soon-ish as it's
Yeah.
moving back. You guys like decide to take high ground, which is good as a call. I'm pretty sure that the Hanzo flanks behind in dragons and fake dies to this. Yeah.
I
Doesn't
was
have
just wrong
nades,
place,
so
wrong time.
yeah, wrong place, wrong time. So you lost this fight. Go next, right?
Defense matrix activated.
15 seconds left. You guys are gonna scramble to touch. Tab is low HP. I would actually suggest that you let your diva go touch while you get healed up. Yeah.
冻住，不许走。
So you went for the long range shatter again. You notice that every time you do it, it never works out. Yeah, so don't do that.
I was gonna use Blizzard there, I got shattered. Unfortunately. Anything there? Nervous.
Let me see Resis run. Not good.
I still have Tracer here for overtime.
Sorry, I know Bob review is running pretty long today, so we'll be done soon. About 10 minutes. We did start about 10 minutes late anyway.
Yeah,
Maybe 15. I don't know.
I think the rod is a good example because you're pushing payload and time is valuable for us. So if you refuse to switch 3 fights, and then we stagger ourselves in 1 fight too, that's like 4 fights you kind of butchered. And it's like, I would say that's 2 minutes of your time that you wasted, pretty much.
Ready for battle.
I think I'm playing 2-4 back here. I think I realize this now. I'm playing near the bell tower.
Like, as far right now, you see their comp, they don't really have anything to kill you, pretty much. Only Diva can get this you.
Pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
So this comp that you're playing against never ever takes a choke from you guys, right? Like, not in a trillion years unless I somehow get a really big nano blade or something, right? So
Yeah.
what you want to do is when the card's pushed to here, you walk on the card, you stand here as Ryan, right? You put your diva right here, right? And you just sit, like, indefinitely. Brianna just plays in this room, like, Jiggle peeks the door, but she can actually just, like, see your run without even going outside, right? Perfectly safe, right? And then your Hanzo just chills, like, right beside her, you know? Just shooting down the choke. And the Pharmacy plays up, right? In the air, like right here, spamming choke, spamming the side, like watching the side. Your Mercy can watch it, right? But watch how you guys actually play it. Even if he was
Where's
up
Alpha
here.
Mercy right now? Up there. I see.
You guys effectively gave the choke away for free, right? So they can jump from inside the choke at you guys, right? But if they were stuck in the choke, you think they can jump past your Ryan? No way,
No.
right? So you need to plant your Ryan right on the cart in the choke and block it out with your shield, right? And fake, you need to be with a roof over your head. It's fine if your Hanzo's there. I mean, he can't get dove if you guys are playing properly, right?
Yeah.
You guys got run over in the back line because you gave them the choke for free. Like, you see how Tab, you're playing, like, along the green to the wall, right? Like, you're not holding anything. So you gave up, essentially, the whole point of your comp, which is to spam damage through the choke to the point where they can't dive through it, they can't push through it, right? Because, like, there's really no way to dive without, like, going on the high ground and walking around and then jumping over you. Adam probably should have switched Lucio, but it was too late, I think.
Yeah. But I agree with the switches. He went Reaper Cree immediately too. You have Diva.
Vic gets slept and dies here.
Yeah. I think Diva is shooting so like they know they're up there. It's like fake to split inside. Just like hide underneath the inside. Because it's such an awkward angle for them to dive here, you know? Like they have to jump down and jump inside. You have a roof over your head.
I actually don't understand why you guys decided to walk towards cart in the first place, right? Because this is not a choke that you would consider a golden zone, like right there in the gateway. Most teams don't hold the team in the gateway, they hold them on the corner, right? Or they hold them over here or at the end. But regardless, like, teams don't, like, fight there or hold there typically, right? They hold the cart here and then they move up and they spam through that choke once they're respawning. But that's not what's going on here, so there's no reason for you guys to walk over there. You knew that they were above you, so you wanted to stage, like, right here underneath them, right? Like, in this room area.
I know what happened communication-wise. I think the team was calling to punish Ana. I think the only person who can actually punish Ana is our... Okay, we don't have Pharmacy, so just stay stacked and... Yeah. Stay stacked and don't push up.
Stay stacked in an area beneficial to you.
Mm-hmm.
With a roof over your head. Or alternatively, when you come out of spawn, everyone go up and take the high ground, and then stand up there. Force them to force you down, right? Because when the cart rolls by, you can just all drop on their Ana, right?
And honestly, if they jump to you guys, you have Kree Reaper, like, and a red heart swinging. Like, you guys kind of want them to jump into you because you have Kree Reapers, so just go high grounds and they have to take from you.
I think that was kind of our idea, is to go over the Ana to make them jump back to payload.
But you forced a rotation from yourself, and teams are weakest in rotation, right? And dive capitalizes on it, so you
Right.
actually played into them technically.
Yeah.
Where's Vic? Oh, okay, he's Moira. So now you're playing with a choke over your head. This is good. McCree, isolating himself too much. But I guess they decided to leave him alone because they all jumped off the high ground, so I guess in this scenario it's fine. You want to be on your Ryan, typically. Because you have Moira healing, so you're not going to get healed if you're not playing with Moira. Eva, go up and push the Pharah out of the window.
The Genshi is just standing still, just poking. Like, you know.
Pre-shoot the Genji. Diva, go fly up at the window and push the fire out. Like, you're doing like 3 damage to her or something. I don't know. Ryan, just you don't have to do anything. You just stand here and exist. It's fine. And Moira will exist behind you, and everything will be pretty great until they dive you, and then your Reaper will fall with you, and it'll be good. Yeah, you don't want to go past the corner, essentially. They have a bunch of ultimates coming up. I think he blades and then dies, maybe?
He was one. Was sad about that.
Somebody 1 HP behind Doge.
Yeah.
Dude got him nice.
Just kind of Genshi.
So this is good. You decide to stage the majority of your team on high ground. I think Kree goes around to get to high ground. Just go through the bank, and then, like, you just want on, like, this really long, wide rotate. Just go straight through, and then up. Lucia, go up too. Run, try to play the corner, and you'd be all good. If Lucia was up there, Reaper wouldn't have had to drop. And Envy wouldn't get chipped so much too. Yeah, like that pick was avoidable if Lucia was up there. Really good shatter by Tab. Unfortunate that like you weren't able to follow up on it.
I didn't charge!
No, everything was dead. It wasn't your fault this time. I did not blame it. It was fine. Alright, so if you guys wanted to go out to recontest, you have to decide that beforehand, right? You can't just go out and debate over recontesting and then fail to recontest but still blow ultimates, right? Because then you... Yeah, that happened. Okay. You guys go bomb and coalescence, and didn't really have anything to show for it. So you have to decide, like, are you holding your ultimates to hold there or in here, right? So just don't put yourself out of position like that. You got DMAC early, you immediately made it a 5v6. Lucky you guys trade. Reaper ultimate was completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
Now you're down in ultimates even more, right? Like, you guys are kind of fucking yourselves over because you need a good ult economy to hold for 3.5 minutes for, like, I don't know, 10 steps, right?
Yeah.
So if I was Envy right here, I would actually be looking to go up on the high ground outside, try and get a high noon off behind them, right? Maybe send Doge with him, maybe not. You could even just send Lucio, doesn't really matter. Because they don't really have, like, the ability to kill him over range, but I guess they switch Brawl, so you guys should theoretically win the next fight because you have an ult advantage in the sense that their Valkyrie will be counted by your beat drop, and you can totally just high noon. So hopefully no one dies here. Try to hold it for longer if you can. Adam dying to Diva Bomb again.
Has beat. Unfortunate.
Yep. So if you had to high noon where you were going to high noon and you knew you wanted to high noon, this had positioned better for a high noon. You could have been on the high ground behind your team, which would have made it too far away for the Diva to fly at you with DM, so she wouldn't have been able to cloak you in DM, and therefore you would have gotten a kill, right? Like, little things. Adam not dying to Diva Bomb, number 3 positioning better for high noon. They walked in dry, essentially. They had Diva Bomb and Valkyrie, right? Like, those are not fight-winning ultimates, right? So you could have rolled them, but you didn't, right? I don't know if you would have won the map or not, but it definitely would have made a difference. You guys definitely beat that team on a normal day.
I think good summary is Farah became more aggressive, supports don't die by Dia bombs, switch quicker too. Team comp if they play dive, go Kree quicker.
Okay.
Don't stay widow like our wins.
Play to your comp strengths. Brawl when you're supposed to brawl, dive when you're supposed to dive. Figure out what the enemy comp is trying to accomplish, right? And then counter that. So if they're a hybrid comp and you've never seen a hybrid comp before, right? You got to realize what are they trying to do? Disrupt because they have a ball, right? stand on the point because they have Orisa. Okay, what are we going to do to counter that, right?
Yeah.
I think Monday Asian Pichu guys I want to see you guys play more aggressive.
Okay.
Check what they have. If they have a Kree, play aggressive. We always have cover too.
Yeah.
If they don't have anything to counter, you just play super aggressive.
Gotcha.
Like I don't want you guys to be on point and shoot like super long range missiles that they're just gonna dodge anyway because I want you guys to be in their face.
Want to see more discords on the mid run, better use of speed versus heals, better use of beat drop, being
Better
more
use of
conscious of
Nana
what you're
too.
dropping against, better use of Nano, yeah.
I would
Better use of
say
High Noon,
High Noon, if High Noon and Diva should synergize.
better positioning in general, and target focus from the Kree, in the sense that Kree needs to actually focus down tanks instead of shooting Genji. Mercy needs to figure out when she's not on a far what to damage boost. It's not the Ana. Let's take wants
As
to like
Hanzo,
back out.
if you can't go squishes for like I don't know, like 5 seconds or something, start focusing tanks, just pressure someone, and afterwards you can try and go squishes again. Because you
Had
have
better
to get
use of
value.
Shatter. No charging, but just Shatter closer to them. Hugging cover more often, and not letting your shield get poked out when you're the defending Ryan, right? Yeah.
And Zarya, make sure to charge your bubbles when you're attacking.
Better bubbles
Charge
defensively.
bubbles. Yep.
Bubble blocking as well. When your Ryan gets walled, using your bubble to block for him. Pichu walls, snugger to walls. Use your walls to accomplish something. Don't split randomly. Be like, I want to split the Ryan, and then actively look to split the Ryan.
Don't beat aggressively if they have Nano Blade or like any like yeah, Nano
Team wiping ult.
yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I think that's it.
That's
Thanks for the
the
VOD
summary.
review.
Yeah. See you guys.
See ya.
So guys, have a nice evening.
You too.
Happens.